No, come back, son. Come on. Go! Stab bitch.
Fixed act. After those 2 convictions, did you decide to read the act?
You got 14 seconds, Prime Minister.
Yes, I've read the act a number of times.
Are you aware of Section 21?
Yes, since I've read the act, I'm aware of Section 21.
What does it say?
Pull it up for you, but if you have it in front of you, you'll know.
Well, it says a public office holder of which you are one shall from any discussion, decision, debate, or vote in any matter in which, in respect of which he or she would be in a conflict of interest. Now, what you admitted today is not just that you were in a conflict of interest, but that you consciously recognized in your May cabinet meeting that such a conflict might exist. That it didn't just slide by your desk, that you were consciously aware that there was a link to your family that would put you in a conflict. Why did you, at that moment, not call the ethics commissioner and recuse yourself?
That's true, Paula. The issue of advancing issues for Ronald Management. By the way, the ethics commissioner is looking into this right now, and I fully trust his judgment on determining it. But at the same time, my concern about recusing myself was a question around perceptions. Because I knew full well that this Canada Summer Students Grant was to directly benefit my mother or my brother.
We're 16 seconds.
Oh, no? That's why your mother still goes by Trudeau, even though they're divorced?
Nobody believes you when you say you don't know how much money your family has got from the wheat group. You had a month to look into that. You knew you were going to testify here. Again, how much money total have your brother, mother, and spouse received from this organization? How much?
That information has been publicly shared, but I will highlight.
You know who it is.
My mother has
My mother.
throughout her life,
The dollar figure, Prime Minister.
various ways, and is
How much?
of the work that she's done, and I'm proud of her.
How much? I'm looking for a dollar figure.
We can get that number for you if you like. It's been out in the media.
It's been in the media, but you don't know it.
I don't have it in front of me. But
You don't know how much your family has received from this organization, which you tried to give a half. Really?
Can I answer, Mr. Polyev?
Nope.
You haven't done an answer so far. Let's make this the first one.
My mother has worked as an advocate,
The dollar figure, Prime Minister.
speaker for
How much?
good organizations across the country.
Mr. Prime Minister,
Whatever. There's a fucking joke.
Because she does her own work, and I'm
Point of order.
I do not feel that it is my responsibility to peer into the work my mother is doing, because I've gone
Point of order to suspend.
she's doing.
Point of order to suspend. I've learned that the chairperson's power has gone out and is no longer part of this meeting. May I propose that we meet for Prime Minister and I can continue talking? No. I suspected that might be a problem. It's very convenient timing for the lights to go up. Look, I got a message to the effect that his power is gone and I have no reason to distrust him. You don't pull the fire alarm now. Yeah, well, look, there's no intent in my own private home here in the middle of a pandemic. I don't have a fire alarm. I propose
the general process is that the vice chair assumes the chairing of the meeting.
So we'll continue. That would be me. We'll continue the meeting, and I now give the floor to the member for Carleton. Mr. Prime Minister, you have, I'm going to ask you one last
Interest Act, Mr.
Yes, I have.
How does it define
I'm
family?
asking you.
How does it define
how much your family got.
The Conflict of Interest Act defines family as spouse and direct dependents.
So you're not going to answer the question. So you're not going to answer the question about how much your family received. Okay, you're right.
Third older gentleman that you,
Mr.
And it was clear by the commissioner ahead of time.
Okay.
Mr. Valier, can I welcome back Wayneaster? Can I welcome back Wayneaster? A man we think we missed. Come on, man.
Mr. Look, you know,
I mentioned that here, it wouldn't be the first time you tried to put my lights out, and that's exactly what happened. After we get a thunderstorm here. Anyway, you're well into your 5 minutes, but go with one last question.
Mr. Trudeau, I'm going to conclude by asking you, you claim that you have no knowledge of the amount that has been paid in expenses to your spouse. You correctly pointed out that the Act defines family as including a spouse. Therefore, you know you're under investigation regarding the Act. I'm going to ask you again, how much in total, and I'm looking for a dollar figure here, sir, how much did your spouse receive in reimbursed expenses or other benefits from this organization? How much?
Mr. Chairman, the question, Mr. Polyev, was how much was my immediate family?
I asked you a different question now. How much?
Mr. Valier, the Prime Minister has the floor.
My wife has never been paid since I was Prime Minister.
As fucking if. My fucking childhood best friend actually worked at the store that your wife shopped at. So that store actually incinerates their clothes when they go out of fashion, so that poor people don't get a hold of them, or like they don't donate whatsoever, because it's like a Tommy Hilfiger thing, where it's only for certain other things.
Unpaid for which she is not being paid by we for her advocacy or for her podcasts. They're simply reimbursed for expenses.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister.
Live.
Parliament can't vote in the interests of Canada while their family members are threatened as consequence of those votes. It is unacceptable, as the Prime Minister said, which is why it's so strange that he accepted it. His government produced a which exposed these threats to the MP's family 2 years ago. And yet the diplomat that worked to punish a Canadian MP's family is still in Canada when the Prime Minister could have expelled him. Why didn't he expel this diplomat?
Acceptable for any Canadian to be subject to intimidation by a foreign power, particularly threats against family and against families of members of Parliament. That's why, as the reports came out this morning, I immediately asked officials to follow up on these reports and to get to the bottom of this. I also asked for outreach both from the political and the official side to the member in question. We are going to continue to make sure this is taken extremely seriously.
Well, that's just false. He didn't immediately take action. He took action after the media found out about it. His government has known that a Canadian MP had his family threatened for human rights in the House of Commons. He knew about that for 2 years. He did exactly nothing. Furthermore, the same diplomat that orchestrated these threats against the MP's family still works in the Toronto consulate at Beijing, even though the Prime Minister has the power to expel him. Really expel him today.
This morning, we followed up immediately with top officials to get all the information on this file, on what happened, on who was informed or who was not informed, to make sure that we are following up in an appropriate way. This is absolutely unacceptable, and it shouldn't have happened.
Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister has to answer for 2 years that the family of a member of parliament was threatened for harassment and other penalties because of how he voted on human rights in the House of Commons. For 2 years, the Prime Minister did nothing to protect the family or to punish the Canadian-based Beijing diplomat who orchestrated the entire attack against that family. Can the Prime Minister confirm if the responsible diplomat from Beijing will be expelled by the end of business day today?
Okay. Good.
Mr. Speaker, stand up and do his job.
No? No fish?
Just want to remind the honorable members order. I want to remind the
Okay.
honorable members to speak.
Oh, so nice out.
Will the Prime Minister finally stand up for this country and its people against a foreign dictatorship that has been interfering in our land for far too long? Yes or no? Bureaucracy that costs $20 billion more per year. That's $1,300 per Canadian family, a 15% increase. And for what? For immigration services not being delivered, for veterans who can't get answers to their requests, and now taxpayers who won't be able to get answers to their tax questions before the filing deadline on Monday. Given that Canadian taxpayers are not getting the services they pay for, is it time for them to go on strike as well?
Lessons from the Conservative Party of Canada, whose approach on services to Canadians was to close veterans and services to women, to fight with the unions, including with legislation that was anti-union, the 525 and 377, which that member voted in favor of, or furthermore, continuing to put cuts across the board. We stepped up to support Canadians. Our public service stepped up to help Canadians through the pandemic, and now we're in negotiations to make sure we get the right deal for them and the right deal for Canadians. The honorable leader of the opposition.
Guy is so out of touch. Here we have 150,000 people on strike. The biggest federal strike in Canadian history. Canadians can't get their services. Meanwhile, their housing costs have doubled and crime is ravaging through our streets. What is he going to do today?
Hello.
Well, starts with the news.
Yeah.
He's leaving today. He wants to be.
Dan.
Hey, Chad, what's up, buddy? What's up, little guy?
What happened to the charger with the yellow square?
Why not?
Cause I need it
For what?
for the computer.
The yellow square?
Yeah.
It's not a charger for the computer.
Oh, my food.
You don't know? Hey, buddy, this computer's
What's up, Jackie?
what's up, little guy?
What's that?
This computer, do you think it's going to? Got lots of wires. You know what I fucking lost? I lost the fucking Bluetooth wire. You know the one you gave me for the truck there?
The small thing?
Well, you know the thing that
yeah.
goes into the like car lighter thing there.
These things are not cheap, man.
How much are they? How much they come out to? $1 out of
How much more money do you want?
okay?
I have 3.
Yeah, I'll take them.
Oh, no.
It's one for Mark,
Yeah.
one split. Yeah, that works. 3 of them. Whoa.
Well, as soon as I can, I'll give it to you, the warrior.
All right.
Yeah, my game just got a new update, so
So what?
my game got a new update, so we have to start the new season.
What do you mean a new season?
Okay, all the characters are being transferred to the normal realm, and we have to redo it all over again. It's the new content and stuff.
Okay.
It's starting again.
I don't know. I don't know that shit too well.
So how you doing?
Not bad. I'm doing, I guess. No?
You wanna have a game?
Yeah, why not? I can resist. That's the TV you're playing your game on?
Oh my god, no.
No?
Fuck, you wanna see the TV I'm playing my game on?
But it's huge.
Fuck. That is funny.
You can come up.
You said, baby?
What do you say? Wow. Oh, man. Today's serious game.
You got a brand new mattress, dude?
Nice. Nice.
Crazy television, eh?
Yeah. That's pretty sweet, man.
You can go.
Expensive?
The garbage.
Come on.
Spanish over there, she's running in the car, spinning in the car for you.
Nice.
Sorry, don't,
How new is this? 15?
I think so.
Super heavy.
Really, really heavy, and the lady actually even offered to help me.
She helped you get it in the car?
No, I told her no. Because she's like, she looked at me with like that unimpressed, she's like a Mexican kind of like mom, and she like looked at me like super impressed. I was like, "You're not calling the police on me?"
It's like, don't forget the stand,
Yeah, it's like
controller.
stand in the remote. I was like, "Thank
Well,
you."
she's sitting like out on the.
Yeah, but then
at
in
the
the
end of the
driveway, she drove up while like she dropped off her kids at school, and like kind
Nice.
of caught me a little bit, and I was like, "Oh."
Good.
I'm gonna go buy her a bottle of wine though. I'll buy her
Good
a
score.
bottle
Good
of
round
wine and some
score.
cookies.
Definite good score.
Honestly, I've never had a TV that big.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, it's a good
So
size.
about
So is
that?
this one too. This guy's fucking.
That was all. See, that's actually.
Sure,
Speaker on that motherfucker.
Yeah, they're like
Always like speakers.
Yeah,
they're like the stereo speakers.
yeah, yeah. You have the inputs for them.
So both TVs, like, and I've
Cool.
lifted
Can
a
you
lot
let
of
that surround
TVs.
sound?
I've literally lifted a lot of TVs, but like these two TVs, I'm like, no more TVs in this house. We're done.
Yeah, well, it's you don't
I want
need
my
more
truck-
than
I want my
that.
truck so bad.
You got one there. You got this one. Fucking.
And when we first were moving in, we're
Lots
like,
of
we're not gonna have
TVs.
any
Like,
I want no
TVs.
TV here.
We're like, we're not really TV people. Like,
You guys don't watch a lot of TV. You mean,
we
but you
do
play a lot of
actually. We
games.
listen more than
Yeah,
anything.
we do.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Here he goes.
Oh my god. Start off wrong.
Both usually do.
No, I Job is convinced that there's like some little person inside of the game that is like, oh, you're doing good right off the get go. Let's make it harder. I'm like, it's like that's not how games work. It's an algorithm.
Oh shit! Oh no! How did that happen?
I'm already level 12.
Wow.
Level 12.
I just started
Ah!
like 15 minutes ago.
I gotta start a game over. I just fucked it up because I'm smoking. That's why. Hey, buddy. Hey, little guy. Where's your toy? Huh? Yeah, Dave's. You know,
Once you go to Florida, you pass through Florida. You don't stay there overnight. When the sun goes down, you leave. Because people are crazy.
Jacksonville.
Fuck, I haven't been to Florida in ages, man. I've only been a couple of times. But
Apparently, it's like fun if you go to like Orlando, like and like all the like the
Disney-
fun, yeah, Disney
Disneyland.
and shit. Like apparently, what is
I'd like
it?
to go to Key West. That's where I'd like to go, man. Right to south of Florida. It's like fucking tropical, like right.
That's
in the
where everybody goes, I
Caribbean,
guess.
Like fuck.
And like Ron DeSantis is not
Fucking
that
beautiful
crazy.
there.
Hey, did you hear that?
What?
So, it's Ron DeSantis.
So all Trump's competitors basically were like, "Oh, okay, well, we're gonna resign and we're gonna endorse Trump." And then Trump,
He's
I think,
fucking
won.
president, man.
Nah, he like
He's
there's no
gonna make it.
competition. There's no competition,
Yeah.
honestly. Like
He's gonna make it.
the
Wasn't
lead.
even there. He won the poll.
I think he didn't go show up to the debate. I think he didn't even show up. He won the debate.
I haven't really been following it that much, but
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you know,
Not
it's like
much at all.
knowing
I
that
can't
like
wait.
he's
I can't wait to
he's
see
up.
Trump go in and Trudeau go out.
Yeah, well, Trudeau's talking about another 2 years.
Yeah. Well, wait, Trudeau's till 2025, I think they were saying.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
that's
it's
next
been 8
year?
How
years.
does that make any
Because
sense?
it's been 8 years, okay? So because he did a snap election during COVID,
Yeah.
it re-established him for another 4
Well,
years.
because they, what did they do? They formed a coalition
Yeah, the
with
NDP
Jagmeet
yes.
yeah, so
So
they
they
could keep the
blackmailed him.
seats.
I think Jagmeet Singh actually did win because I voted for him and a lot of people I know voted for him, and he
I
came.
don't.
And
fucking
he
can't
apparently
stand
came
them, though.
before. They came fourth. I think it was either PQ or the Green Party came before them. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't even make fucking sense. Like who even talks about the Green Party anymore? As soon as like pot got legalized, we all thought it was about pot, the Green Party. And then
Yeah.
they're like, no, they have nothing to do with pot, really. I'm like, hey, so what's the point of the
They're all
fucking?
about the green agenda.
What's the point of the Green Party then?
It's the green agenda.
Basically, and it's like, but isn't that all their agendas at this point? Like all governments are basically like, oh, we have to save the planet because that's why. Arson caused all those fires. And they have proof now.
What fires?
All the wildfires that's been going on, apparently they're all arson.
Oh, you're talking about the ones last year?
Yeah, during the summer,
Fuck.
which is very almost
Yeah, it was-
unbelievable because
The forest fires were the worst last year.
if you saw the satellite images, it's quite
Yeah.
funny actually. They all start
And the
at the
same
same time. And they're like, it was lightning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, well obviously fucking not. Like that's ridiculous. Lightning struck like across Canada simultaneously.
That's what they're showing in the.
Yeah, satellite. The satellite on Google Maps. It literally shows lightning striking. What looks like lightning striking, or like smoke just starting to go out,
It's
like
all those
in
different
multiple
spots at the
provinces
same time.
at the same time.
It really looks like a coordinated.
I think they're honestly just.
operation.
I think they're just spewing out anything that like pops into their brain,
You know
just like
some-
by time.
the weirdest fires was like about 5 years ago in California. They had all those fires that like didn't touch houses, like burnt houses. It was weird.
Well,
it was like it was only the forests that were touched.
Well, the native land.
They're talking about cigarettes causing house fires. But like that's kind of also been proven to not be possible.
Unless you smoke a cigarette.
Even then, it has to be you have to drop
Yeah,
it on
because
something
they go out on
flammable.
their own.
Yeah.
Like a wool blanket of some kind, even like, but it'll not really burn. It usually just fizzles out. Like,
You guys stay home today?
yeah. windows and everything. The sun was in there.
Fuck, I hate that fentanyl shit, man.
Then?
Yeah, it's fucking evil, man.
I think Tina's
Mike
worse.
is just like totally fucked on it, man.
Personally, I think Tina's much worse.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, I think Tina is way stronger. I think it's way more addictive. The side effects are.
Well, the psychosis side
The thing with
effects,
fent-
yeah.
Is you die, and that kind of makes the government look really bad. The great part about Tina is that they don't die from it.
Yeah, they just go fucking
They
crazy.
go back. Or they
They go-
beat the fucking life out of their best friend with their bass guitar. And the guy doesn't even know why.
It's a psychosis drug.
Well, look at Fury. His little fucking. He's convinced that people are coming after him to kill him. He's genuinely convinced.
Yeah.
I'm like, Fury, no
Yeah,
offense,
because
but
he
nobody.
smokes it all the time.
But I was like, Fury, no offense, nobody cares about you that much to pay money to put a hit on you. Like.
Yeah, that's obviously from too much lack of sleep.
Oh, I think it's with Tina because all the, Jimmy too. Jimmy was very crazy paranoid. Like almost everyone that I've seen that does Tina is beyond reasonable paranoia. Like,
Yeah, man, fuck, I'm glad I never got into that fucking shit, man.
I don't get the appeal personally. I don't see
It's fucking evil.
like it doesn't.
Like, I've done it, but
like the positive effects of it.
so,
Like are so outweighed by the negative effects of it. Like
yeah, totally. I mean, I had fun when I did it, like out in Vancouver years ago.
but it's not the same
You
stuff
know.
that they were putting out years ago. Like you would be able to do it, and people would do it mostly in the privacy of their home,
Well, I
and
think it's a lot stronger now,
a lot stronger. Like,
a lot pure.
and you notice
It's like you
nobody's
stay up
talking
for
about it.
fucking days.
Nobody, like no organization of any kind has even mentioned it. So that to me is a pretty big clue that something's not coming up about.
That's fucking evil. So many people fucking use it too now. I mean, it was never popular in Montreal until a few years ago. And now you see tons of people doing it, man. They're fucking downtown.
They're trying to now say that there's another, the fentanyl overdose spike is happening again. And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking to, but
I don't think it
very
ever
few
changed.
people. But no, I don't know. They all died. They all died, or they quit their social life and got a child and just don't talk to anybody anymore. Like,
Oh, fuck, man. It's like very popular.
and I just
A
like I
lot
don't
of people
know.
are doing it.
I only know really of one or two people that are doing fent, and they have their shit very much handled for the most part.
Because I use Dilaudid, right?
Yeah.
And I buy them off these guys that do fent. And it's just like,
Well, see, like
they're
that would,
so fucked up
I would be
sometimes
so
on that
worried that
shit.
they would be like in the same container with each other. Like even
What do you
them
mean
being in the
container?
same container, like I would be afraid it would take my drugs. Like
No. I mean, it's not like they don't mix it with their shit or anything.
do they like is it personal use or do they sell it?
No, they use it. They just sell me their Dilaudid.
Because anybody who's selling fentanyl at this point, like to me that's a real criminal. That's somebody who should be in jail because they are dangerous. If you are selling fentanyl right now, that's fucking awful.
Well, it's just how messed up they get. They don't even know where they are.
Oh
It's fucking like another planet.
But look
you
at
know?
Rhea. Look at Rhea. She is such a her drug of choice. It's quite incredible, actually.
Rhea. Fuck, I don't think I know her.
Yuri's girlfriend?
Okay.
She wears like a leopard print coat and she's like always falling asleep in the parking lot. She's like
I
standing up.
just haven't seen her lately because it's so cold. Nobody hangs out there, you know?
She's been keeping Fury away from State Cal, I think. Like, Fury goes to her place a lot, which is great.
Yeah, she's the one that lives in Brossard.
No, she lives, that's not the street away from Fury.
Oh. I thought she had a place out in Brossard. I remember Pam was going to stay.
No, you're thinking of Sia.
Hey?
You're thinking of the girl that we stayed with, Sia.
Sia,
And
that's
Flash.
it.
That girl's also
Mixing
back
them
to
up.
crazy on drugs too. She accused me of stealing my own stuff. I was like, I'm sorry, I was not informed that I was supposed to leave some stuff behind as like consolidation. Like I don't know, it was just she's very, very off the wall batshit crazy, but I also think that she's a lesbian.
Uh-huh.
And I think that her boyfriend and her are super fucking
Who's her boyfriend?
Flav.
Who?
Flav? He's like a Hungarian. He's like a big ass Hungarian guy, but like. Yeah, well, we don't talk to him anymore because he's a freak. And like right when I'm like, oh, Flav, it's okay to make jokes. Like I can take a joke, whatever. And then he followed up with, "You serious about hanging out?" Like, and then he was like asking me if I'm home alone or like. Stuff like that. I was like, okay, you know what? I literally just fucking posed for you, saying that it's all jokes, like fine. And then you pull like oh, you're home alone? Oh yeah, I'll come over if you're serious. Like, fuck you, fucking dick.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
I don't get why all men have to do that. Fucking, all men have to fucking ruin being friends by being a freak. Like, are uncomfortable having that conversation with men, being like, hey, you know, like, I'm totally friends, but I have a significant other, and I'm not really. Oh, we'll be friends, and then like half an hour later, their hand is on your leg, and I'm like, what the fuck did they say?
Yeah.
Make it
Yeah, the
super
fucking-
awkward.
Picture, and yeah, that is fucking awkward.
What are you talking
Weird.
about?
Pam? Not for a few weeks. It seems like.
Her bender.
Why? What happened?
Oh, well, she went on a bender
Yeah.
because she was supposed to come stay here for a few days before she went to her aunt. I guess she probably started to realize that she doesn't want her party to be over, and stuff would be no fun. She ended up not coming back to my place. And then she went.
Total fucking mess. Sucks.
It does. It really does. Because, like.
Love that chick. You know?
Yeah. And she's like, oh, nobody loves me right now. I'm like, Pam, people aren't mad at you. They're hurt. They're upset. Because you're hurting their feelings.
Yeah.
Not many people can
See
scream
her
in my
in that
face.
condition, you know?
Yeah, but like not many people can scream in my face, and I'm like, that's okay. You're having a moment. You'll get over it. Like, you really have a hard time apologizing as well. Like, her aunt said that she changed her mind, and she said that she can go now. And
Well, it's the last time, actually, I remember now the last time I saw her. She was at Brad's and they were having their fucking usual fight, of course, freaking out. And when she asked me, she said, oh, can you stay, like, for a bit? I don't know where to go. And, like, to act like a buffer between her and Brad.
no, but
It's just
she
like, no,
doesn't
I'm not
realize that
really
she's very
interested.
abusive for him.
I know.
Because like I was the
totally,
abusive partner
absolutely.
with, so, and I didn't realize that I was capable of doing that much damage.
Mm-hmm.
And you like let me kind of beat him up a little bit.
Right.
Like, and I was like, why would you let me do that to you? Like, why would you let me kind of beat you up? Like, and he was like, well, you lost all your friends and you were really upset and you would cry in the car every night, and I know you were You needed to get it out. That doesn't mean like I get to fucking be an abusive partner. Like he had bruises all across his chest. I'm like, what the fuck happened to you? He's like, that's not me. I can't fucking do that. He's like, no man, that's from you fucking hitting me.
Let you.
Yeah, he did. He would let me.
He wouldn't hit you back.
Well, I didn't think I could do that much damage. Like I didn't think like I would actually make bruises on him, but I was threatening to punch him in the face, so he would duck back, and then one day he was like, you know what, Matt? Do it and see what happens. I was like, oh. We're done with this.
Standing up for himself. Finally.
Well, yeah, like could be an abusive partner, and it just kind of happened that way. I was like, oh fuck. No one, but Brad does the same thing. He lets Pam kind of beat him up a bit.
Yeah.
And
then he reacts and like fucking.
Oh, eventually he
grabs her.
does. Yeah, well, in all fairness, like it's not okay for women to.
No, and I'm not excusing her at all. I'm just saying, like she pushes him to it. You know?
Yeah, it's not okay for women to hit men and then think that nothing's gonna happen. Like, if you're gonna hit someone, it doesn't matter what. Expect to be hit back. Like,
yeah.
You shouldn't be hitting anyone to begin with.
And he's always like depressed over her, and just like, dude, you gotta.
He literally cried in my car over Pam. Like, he was like, "Can I talk to you for a second?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, Brad." And he just like started crying in my car. He's like, "I don't know why she does this to me. Like, I'm like just trying to make her happy and just trying to like keep her from being upset. And she hates me so much. It seems like, and like that's the one topic, honestly." We can talk about, me and Pam can talk about everything else except Brad. As soon as I start to talk about Brad, she says she doesn't want to talk about this anymore. Because she knows that she abuses the shit out of him. Like,
yeah, she does abuse.
Not just fucking physically, but verbally, like mentally.
Oh, she abuses him fucking mentally, big time.
So he'll never say no to her.
She verbally the shit out of him.
Yeah, and she'll never say no to her. She can go fuck every fucking guy in town, and if
and
she
according
comes
to
back,
her, he's fucking like she doesn't fuck anybody, and according to her, he's
both
fucking
sleep
like
around.
every fucking chick in the fatality.
They both sleep around, but in all fairness, I will say Bradley is a very respectable guy. Like when he cleans up the bar after a show, he says that times where there's younger girls who are not really experienced and they get wasted, they'll just be trying to hit on him and pick him up, and he'll just be like, can I get a woman to come assist me with this person? Like he totally has many chances where he can take advantage of young drunk girls, and he absolutely is not that kind of guy. Like, and he'll never say no to her. He'll never turn Pam away. Like, and she knows that, and she takes full advantage of that. Like,
yeah, big time.
Which is just really sad. But I think it all stems from her kid getting taken away.
Yeah.
Because she wants to have another kid.
Like that's a really good idea.
I think it actually
kind of abandoned her son.
Once social services gets involved with your kid, they're not going to let you get your kid back. Basically, what?
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hey.
We're live.
No, I think that fucks up any parent having your kid taken away. I don't think, even if you are a shit parent, you should be taught how to be a better parent, not get your kid taken away, because it's never better. It's only worse.
Ah.
I've never known anybody who goes into the system that ends up being better off than they were.
No, not that I've ever seen either.
And it seems like the majority of people I know that get taken away from their parents were bad parents. And then there's a bunch of people that I know that definitely should have had their kid taken away. Like, lady I babysat for her autistic son, and one day she just didn't come home from work.
So I don't know the whole story because I never asked her, like the whole story behind her losing her kid. You know?
Yeah, but like the way that she took me. I was really sick at Sia's, but like at one point, and like I was gonna go to the hospital, and Yan was still on drugs at the time, so he had like no feel. Like he did not really feel emotions at the time, and we were both sick at the same time, and I fucking would have had to go to the hospital. Like she very much took care of me, like constantly coming in to check on me. Like I was sick. And I like at first I thought maybe like she was doing it to kind of just get close to me to kind of steal some of my shit, and I was like, I don't think
What do you mean steal?
that I had lost.
And what? You think she wanted to steal it?
No, it was like her friend, her best friend, and she was like, oh, it's probably Pam. Like, well, I don't want to accuse anybody because I don't have proof. Like, I don't accuse people if I don't have proof. And she was like, yeah, but it was probably Pam. I was like, it's probably like at my other apartment, like, and I'm just really sick and I misplaced it, like, and that's exactly what happened. Like,
Right.
And I'm like, I doubt Pam is like gonna act like she's trying to take care of me and do the mom thing when
I've never seen Pam's like steal anything, you know?
See, this is my weird thing where people constantly accuse that girl
I've never like
of
seen
actually
her,
seeing her
you know,
steal anything.
taking anything from anyone.
It seems like most of the people accusing her of doing it, or the
Fucking
people that she
people
was
accuse
with.
each other of so much fucking shit. They're
Yeah, well,
crazy, you know?
no honor among thieves, obviously. Like, you know what? To me, if I see someone steal something, even once, even if it's from like a random person, you are on my shit list. You are on my. I'm gonna assume you're gonna steal from me too.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'm the only one who's not fucking stealing.
I stole your heart.
Oh, that's true. That's very true. What's $700
Aren't you so glad that you got your heart stolen by Yan?
Oh, I had given up. I fully had given up on the human race when I met you. Oh my god. And then the first 3 months of us dating, holy shit. Ooh. No, I was very much convinced that I was going to become a gay man and take advantage of like the government paying for my my sex change operation.
Become a gay man.
Yeah, because I
Like
got.
Chastity Bono or something?
I don't like women.
You don't like women, like you don't have girlfriends, you mean? Well, yeah, you do.
I can deal with
You just
one
don't
girl
trust
at a time. No, I can only deal with
Trust
one at a
issues.
time. Like one friend that's a girl is fine, but if you start adding other girls, they start doing the
They get
catty,
the
vindictive,
catty,
like
cliquey thing
and-
going together.
yeah, and then they
competition.
group up and shit. I don't want to play that game. I better
You
think.
don't play that.
No, I don't fucking play that shit. I'm not 16.
Yeah.
Hi. And I used to have mostly guy friends, like that. I lucked out with all my guy friends. They were 4 years older than me, and I hit on every single one of them. And they were like, "Oh man, we love you, and you're so pretty, but like we don't see you that way." And
Really,
I full on like
Fucking
crying.
It's fucking gentlemanly guys, man. You know,
Really?
fucking a lot of guys will take advantage of that.
I used to call them my brothers. Like I used to
They're
call
like
them.
they were big brotherly.
Yeah, and they were like,
That's good.
you need to make yourself like not so like easy. Like you need to like make guys work for it a little bit. Like just because a guy's like, oh, you're beautiful and I love you forever, doesn't mean that you should just be like, okay.
A woman's not like too complicated about shit. You know?
Oh no, like fucking Fury likes girls like that. That's why he likes Rhea. Like she's a fucking pain in the ass. Like she's fucking neurotic. She's like very controlling. She's a pain in the ass, but I do give her respect though for dealing with my brother and not giving up on that fucking guy yet. Like I would not put up that shit.
What happened with getting him into the rehab?
There was one day me and him were talking to the Andy's place, whatever.
Yeah, Andy's house.
Yeah, and he hung up on the girl because I was trying to give her my phone number for the guy who runs the place to call because I was like, you don't do welfare or anything. And she was like, not anymore. I'm like, okay, well, I really don't have $30,000. Like,
Yeah,
but
at least 30 grand.
But the guy was gonna talk about maybe we can work out a payment plan of some kind, and she couldn't really understand she kept getting the phone number wrong, and I was repeating it back to her, and he just like hung up the phone on her. He's like, she's a fucking idiot. It's like, why would you do that? I spent half an hour fucking talking to the girl, fucking trying to figure out like if we can get you in here.
That's his mental issues and his paranoia and shit like that.
I was willing to bring him here for a week or two just to get him like clean and detox. Yeah. But I know for a fact as soon as I bring him back to Fatal, he's gonna go right back to it. Like, and you know what? Like, I'm not gonna waste my mental time and energy.
He's gotta separate himself from that scene, you know, or else it's never gonna like work out. Too many people are fucking smoking that shit there. There's like way too much of it going on. It's too easy for him to obtain it.
Well, Mariev's out. Mariev got booted.
Well, you heard what happened.
Yeah,
fucking burnt
hot fire.
Well, what I was told was it was Jay. He lit her mattress on fire, whatever, and the guy the apartment's like damaged enough where like some of it burnt up. The fire department put it out, but everything got damaged by water.
Well, like I drove past and like I didn't see like that much damage, but like I didn't think Terry was actually gonna fucking like evict her. Like all her stuff is in the garbage. This is her stuff. Like pulled it in the trash.
Shit.
Yeah. So like she's actually like
I'm mad with Mariev right now, but I mean, fuck, I feel bad for that happening to her.
Yeah, but you know what? No one else can get away with the fucking shit she pulls. Like, if I tried to get away with the shit that she fucking gets away with.
Yeah, you
like,
probably would have had your fucking face smashed like that. I don't understand how she fucking got away with acting like that.
We used to call her mom. She used to actually be a decent human with a conscience. Like she cut me off when she was dealing over at the orange store. How appropriate. That's where she's back to. Cut me off when I was like at my lowest low in my drugs, where I was just like not giving a shit. And I was up for days, and I was like, I came to her 3 days in a row, and she's like, "What? How are you out already? Like, just get, like you came here yesterday with $60. Like, there's no way you're out already." I'm like, well, I have a couple left. Yeah, but she cut me off, and I was super pissed. I was like, "What kind of fucking drug dealer are you? Like, like you fucking deal me drugs? Like, sell me fucking drugs? Like."
Yeah.
It's Fatal. Like, what the fuck? And she was like, listen. Yeah, no, she was a decent. She was like, don't come back tomorrow, like, or the day after, maybe. Like, just take a day or two of break, like, chill. Yeah. And I was just like, later on, like a year later, I came back and I was like, I really fucking respect. I was an asshole at the time, but I appreciate you giving a shit. And she did give a shit once, and I think that's the only reason why she gets away with the amount of shit she gets away with. Because anybody else that would not. Yeah. She's very much fallen from grace. Yeah. Like shriveling up to nothing. She's just looking for a reason to punch somebody in the face. So keep a good distance.
What do you mean?
Might be my boyfriend. Oh my god. Hey! I love you.
Love you.
Wanna fight? Wanna fight? You wanna go? You wanna step outside? A little bit.
Well, you're gonna have to wait 3 months.
What? Interesting. I might check that out. Sorry, Doc.
You guys staying home today?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I went out last night to bring. What is your? It's a wire, you fucking spaz. I went to bring Pam her suitcases that she left in my bag.
Okay.
And then she didn't show up. And I was like, hey, that's kind of shitty of you. And she's like, there's stuff missing out of it. I'm like, I did not steal your stuff. That's what you're insinuating. Like, I'm kind of like the last person that you can really accuse of stealing your stuff.
Where's she staying at right now? Wherever, I guess.
PT's or something. And
Pierre-
then somewhere on St.
Pierre
Clotilde.
Hughes? Hey?
Somewhere on St. Clotilde.
At Matt McGraw's.
Mike said that she probably stole his drill and a couple of other things, so I don't think she's there.
Stole his drill.
Yeah, he told me to look it through her
Why
stuff.
would
Nothing
she
through her
steal
stuff.
his drill? What
Yeah,
would
that's
Pam do with
exactly
the
what
drill?
I was just thinking about.
Yeah, right? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna look
Like,
through her stuff, but I mean,
She's not the kind of person to like just steal stuff to go sell. Like
Yeah. I don't know. Fuck, he's probably just being paranoid.
That's
There's
what
someone going in
paranoid.
and out of that fucking apartment
Oh, yeah.
anyways, man.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like drug central there.
no, I.
Crack and fucking meth, like nonstop. Fucking that
How many
place.
drug addicts
Everybody's
keep hacking into an
using-
apartment? Like it's a fucking
You know?
clown car. Like seriously though.
Yeah, it's kind of a crack spot.
I don't know, like fucking do a what do you call it? A lockdown on that apartment and just be like, okay, everybody in this apartment is gonna be detoxing. Like no one's allowed to leave. You guys are now in quarantine.
Yeah, serious.
Well, it's honestly, it's like a fucking, it's like contagious. Honestly, like, and I don't know what possesses people to do this stupid fucking drug. Like, there are so many other drugs that are way, like, I told Fury, I was like, go back on shrooms for a bit, or like do a hallucinogen for a bit, because you are way more fun and way more pleasant to be around. Like,
Yeah, it's better for the your mental health.
I
your
don't
mental
cater
state of being.
people.
If they microdosed or something, just stop taking.
Like, I
taking
understand.
the meth.
I understand where people are coming from when they're like, oh, like to convince somebody who's crazy that their delusions are not real. I'm like, yeah, but that's with people who are crazy. He's just on drugs. So now he's like, oh, maybe my delusions are fucking real.
Mhm.
And I get where they were coming from. However, it just made him reestablish his fucking delusions that are just like, and I'm like, I'm not playing into your fucking crazy delusions. Like, I'm like, that's not happening. You know, that's not happening.
Yeah.
I'm done with like playing your stupid little fucking. People are after me. No one gives a shit about you enough.
Yeah,
to be
but the
after
meth
you.
might have, like he's a young guy, right? He's like
Yeah.
in his early 20s or
Yeah.
something. So it's like like the meth might be like exacerbating if he has like any mental delusions or whatever. It's definitely not helping. It's amplifying it, you know?
No, I think it's the main
And
cause
it
of
could be
it. Honestly,
causing well, it definitely causes
set his-
psychosis in people,
he's
you know?
gonna set his apartment on fire. I had to be like, Fury, if there's like one thing that you absolutely shouldn't do, I'm telling you right now, that's it. Don't do that one. And he flooded it instead.
What? Like does he smoke like a lot of meth every day type thing?
Yep.
Stays up for days on end.
You know what? I told him I don't even know if he's like, I think he actually does sleep pretty frequently, but like
sleep deprivation will definitely make you hear voices, hallucinate.
I told him, I was like, you have so much support. Like
I told delusions,
like I told Goddamn at one point, I was like, stop talking to him, please. Like I just like I don't know what else to do, but like all I can do is like ask Goddamn to like stop talking to him. He's like, I tried to. He goes behind my back. He'll pay someone. He'll give someone money to go get it for him.
To go get it for him. Exactly. Yeah.
Like, and it's like there's not really much else that Matthew can do at that point. Like, which is understandable. Like, but I was like, Fury, like honestly, like you want people to help you, but you're not trying. You're not putting any effort into it. Like you're like.
He's gonna get it one way or the other. It's just like a matter of he has to be ready to change.
And I know he can do it. I know he can quit. Like, because he's quit other drugs.
It's like it's a bad environment to stay if he's gonna try and fucking like stay off drugs, period. Any drug. You're like around people that you use with all the time and like fuck, it's like it's fucking saturated there. It's not an easy place to stay sober, stay clean and sober. You have to be very strong.
But my thing is, like, other people could do it. Other people could be around it and not, not partake. Hey, Jack, stop! Hey!
Difficult.
Well, I'm hoping now that fucking Jay is gone. Like, and last time I saw Kilo, me and Yan both saw Kilo, and he seems to be a lot better than he was when he was living with Mariev. And I think what I concluded from that is Jay basically stole Kilo's girlfriend. Like, Jay basically, like, stole his best friend's girlfriend.
As in Mariev?
Yeah, because, like, I think that Kilo and Mariev actually did like, really love each other at one point.
Uh-huh.
And I think whenever they had a problem, she would go to Jay to talk to about the problem. He was like, oh, yeah, no, my bro. And then he stole his bro's girlfriend. And then tried to start pimping her out and beating the shit out of her. And I was like, I told Dirk, too. I was like, Dirk, like, I know you guys are on great terms right now, but she's going to die. Either she's going to overdose or he's going to beat her to death. And, like, maybe that's what is needed to scare the shit out of you guys, to make you guys stop doing this shit. The psychosis that it causes, I don't know what's going to...
She's not even doing the Tina. It's just pure crack with her.
Right? I can't. She shriveled up to nothing. Like, she fucking, like, even hugging her, she feels, like, fragile. Like, but, like, she's also fucking...
She's lost a lot of weight, for sure.
I know that drug rage makes people extra strong. Like, when they fucking are raging, they're very strong. And I'm like, I am not going to even give her the opportunity to hit me in the face. She will put me on the ground with that. Even though she's swollen and shriveled up, if she rages, she will put me on my fucking ass.
Anger. I just can't fucking believe how much she's changed, since she moved to Fatal.
That will kill you. Crack and Tina will just kill what's inside.
Though. She was a totally different person.
When she was at the other place, at the orange store, where PT is now, and it was like to the orange store.
Well, I just mean like until about 8-9 years ago.
Getting spider shot.
She started hanging out and living at Fatal, and she left Tony.
When she
was a totally different person. Totally different.
Like Tony, like construction.
No, like her ex Tony.
Oh, okay.
They lived together for years, man. She was like a mellow.
He was like
hippie
10 years
chick.
younger than her, wasn't he?
No.
Because I remember she was.
No, we're just talking. You're thinking of a different Tony. No, this is like Tony Anthony. Like, you probably don't know him. He comes around Faith House sometimes, but she was with him for a long time. They were together, you know.
What happened
Even
to
though they
Tony?
seemed like they were like more like roommates and friends than a couple for the
Well,
longest
her and
time.
Killa also seemed like
But
that bit. Like,
yeah, but I mean, I've known Mary Ev since she was 16. Okay, her and Dominic. Okay, so imagine how long. Like she's like 45, 46 now.
her
Like
sister wants
literally
nothing
when
to do
they're
with her either. Like,
right.
her sister doesn't even want anything to do with her.
I know because
apparently something
fucking,
happened with her sister's
because she's
kid.
changed so much.
Apparently Jay
Dominic's still chill.
Apparently Jay was freaking out in front of her nephew, like her kid was over with Mary Ev, and Jay was starting to freak out and shit, and they had to go get somebody. Like I think it was Brad or Ivan. They had to go get to be like, you need to stop because there's a child present, and you're scaring the shit out of everybody, including the child, and you can't.
Her nephew is right. He's got to be like 17 by now.
Still
almost,
a fucking kid.
16,
like,
still a kid. Yeah.
Still should not be in that environment. Like, very.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been coming around there for a long time, you know, with his mom, you know, her sister. But like I said, man, it's like night and day. If you knew Mary Ev 10, 15 years ago, you would not be able to put her next to the Mary Ev now at all.
I don't understand who would give her Spider's job.
It's like,
anybody who
I
knew
don't
her
get it.
should have known that she could not handle Spider's job. Listen, Spider was there where Mary Ev was. There was never a party there. We never had friends over.
Yeah.
There was never like Mary Ev likes the social. She's FOMO. She's the fear of missing out shit. Like, and so like whoever gave her that job should have known that to begin with that she could not handle it. Like,
and she's selling glow for him, you're saying. And everything else.
Yeah, no, I
that
think
was when she was living in the orange.
Yes, yeah.
Place. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was still an okay person at that point, but
I don't know. It's just like I was like really close friends with her and Tony when they were together when they were living like near Place St. Henry Metro.
Where's Tony now?
Oh, he's still living in St. Henry. He's not really doesn't have much to do with.
He just gave up on her.
You know? No, she left him.
She left him.
She left him, and she had started hanging out at Fatal. And then she started seeing like some guy, I can't remember who it was. But anyway, she moved to Fatal, and it's like, I swear to God, man, she changed her personality to like fit into Fatal.
Big badass. Big badass shit.
She wasn't like that 10 years ago. I'm telling you, she was the opposite of that. I remember when she like told me like, oh, I got into a fight with some skinheads yesterday. I was punching this guy. I was like, who is this Mary Ev? Like, put Mary Ev on the phone right now. She'd never gotten into a fight in her life. She's not a badass.
Because she might listen to you.
If I try to say this badass at all. She was like a mellow hippie chick. She's not. She thinks she is.
Listening to her submit to I don't know if it was Kilo or Jay, but someone was screaming at her. You fucking stupid! What the fuck is the matter with you? And she, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say no. I was just like, oh my god, like that's Mary Ev.
She got this reputation, you know. Like last year, she even told me like because Babette was like not letting her come to the bar.
Yeah.
And she goes to me, she goes, you have to understand, you know, like this doesn't make me look good. You know, I have a reputation to get. I've got a reputation in the punk scene. Like this doesn't make me look good. And I was just like,
who are you? Yeah, like are you the biggest poser in the world?
45 years old, like it's like teenager shit.
Maybe you will be able to talk sense to her.
Yeah, she doesn't. She doesn't listen to me. Like I don't know. I think like in one way, she feels like threatened in a way because I know her for so long. And I know what she used to be like. She fucking punched me in the fucking face 3 months ago or something.
But she was on a shoot. Even now, she's looking to hit somebody.
But she was still at her fucking place.
I was gonna get Yen to say it to her because Yen's not afraid to fucking hit her back.
Like, I held her arm. She was going to hit me a second time. She charged down the stairs after me, just because I touched Glenn's dog. And she goes, "No, you're not supposed to touch that dog." You know, like blah blah blah. I go, relax. I go like, I
not like Cal's dog.
You know, like, big deal. And she goes, you got a problem? Like, get the fuck out of my place. I go, I'm leaving. Like, bye. And I just go like, Mary, stop trying to
But
pull that gangster shit on me.
But maybe
And she
that's
charged after me, and fucking right when I went out, she came up and she fucking she decked me in the side of the face, like didn't hurt, but and then she fucking and I was just like, you fucking punched me. I go, give me a break.
maybe her getting
And then
kicked out of that place is a good thing, and maybe she just needs someone to be like, look, I've known you since you were a teenager. Because
It's
like
literally-
nobody else can say this to her, she will literally not hear it. She will punch them in the face before they even get a word out. But maybe because it's you, if you get her alone, away from people, as long as it's not.
I think she's afraid that because I know her, like before, she literally changed her personality. She like fucking
You're her
moved to
secret
Fatal,
keeper.
and she like I think she thought like, oh, I've got to be a tough
You're her
punk
secret
rock chick.
keeper.
She wasn't even a punk. She wasn't even a punk before she like fucking moved there. She became a punk when
But
she
you should
lived
tell
there.
her all this because she
You
needs
know?
to hear
Like,
it from somebody. She needs to hear it
it's
from
like-
somebody, and it has to be somebody that she'll have a moment of.
I know I never get it. I never get a chance to because
Oh, I go knock
you
on
know,
her door.
anytimes like I go by her place, there's like 100 people there, and she's like holding court, and
Oh, I
you know,
literally
like-
knock on that door. Come outside for a second. I want to say like I don't want to say something to you like fucking because you're gonna die. Like and it solely comes from a place of I don't want to see something really bad happen to her because if something happens, it's gonna be something that's really bad.
Acting like that,
It's not gonna be a fire.
Maybe the
It's
fire brought her down a peg.
That's what
or
I'm
something,
hoping.
you
That's
know?
what I'm hoping. It's gonna be maybe a
She
good
needs to get
thing.
off her high horse.
She needs to change something. She needs to
get
change
off her
something
fucking
dramatically
high
and
horse,
fast because she's going to die. Like,
you know?
and I don't.
And she's in bad, like she's not in the greatest health either. The
Yeah,
last few years, like fucking, she's always sick. She's telling me, like, you know,
but I think she does that on purpose.
And, you
I
know,
think it's to get people to feel bad for her to kind of lower
she's lost her fucking voice, man. She used to talk. She used to have a normal
from
voice.
screaming so
And
much.
Screaming, yeah, I know.
And fucking that smoke, like fucking like, and I'm really not a huge fan of Marianne, to be honest. Like, she kind of like
I'm
plotted
not
in giving away my
anymore
boyfriend's
either.
dog, so like I'm kind of not down for anything that happened. Where like, and she keeps it up.
Lynch tried to have
Yan
dogs
got
take.
when Yan got
Signal.
arrested for the Ezra thing with the gun thing.
Okay.
While he was in jail, Sarah, Ezra, Marianne, all of that little crew of fucking girls that
Yeah.
have a good reputation of causing problems.
Fucking total problems
And like,
there.
but like, and
fucking
it's
wreck gang.
intentional. It's very plotted. It's a very vindictive plot to fuck with somebody and really hurt them, really fucking hurt them. And
Uh-huh.
giving away someone's dog, like
Yeah, that's pretty.
without beyond that's unforgivable.
Yeah.
Personally, that's
It's like
unforgivable.
giving someone's kid away.
That's very much like giving someone's kid away,
Yeah,
and it's like
absolutely.
it's
Dog's a
not
member of
yours.
the family.
And like, what's he gonna do? Like, go to the family that just like got the dog and like to be like, that's my dog, and taking it back? Like he was in no position to be taking care of a dog anyway, really at the time. But they were like, oh well, we'll take responsibility for it, and then just decided that they would give it away because it would be better for the dog. And it's just like you had no right to do that, and you guys all plotted this. You guys all planned this shit. Like,
Well,
and if
fuck,
someone
you
did that
know?
to you, like,
I used to listen to Tarek over the
Oh,
fucking Mariette.
they're all posers though. Honestly,
You know, it's
they're,
just ridiculous.
they're all
Even
just-
Sarah also.
when you separate them and you make them just one, they become this big. That is what bugs me the most. These are posers. These are people who will run their mouth, but as soon as you get them on their own, they're not so tough anymore.
Mm.
It's when they're in a fucking group, when they're in their little fucking crew.
Yeah.
Like I don't play that shit though. Like I don't want to start anything,
Totally
but I'll never forgive them for doing that to him, because like
Yeah,
that's
not
just
cool.
so wrong.
annoying.
Yeah, no, and you know what? It's interesting the relationship Marianne and Jan have. Like, they know that there's like this hostility to each other, and they have this issue with each other. But like they play nice with each other. They play the nice, like, hey, oh my god, I'm missing you, blah, blah. And I'm just like, but there's like this hostility, like undertone that is just like so uncomfortable. Can you
What's up?
You're going on timeout.
What do you do?
Beating stuff off the floor.
Well,
Yeah! Where's your food?
Beating stuff off the floor.
Fuck you up!
How's your game going?
My game's going! Oh my god.
It's the loudest you've ever been while playing your game.
yeah.
I'm like screaming.
Knocking at the door.
So much, and we should come up with a sense of when it happens, and it looks like it's going to happen pretty soon.
C'est où? C'est à Laurier? Ouais, mais je le savais. Ben quoi, tu retournes-tu? Ok. Ben, réveille-toi. Des cigarettes. Ok, ben, on se rejoint bientôt. Juste garde-toi réveillé, puis retourne chez toi. Qu'on se voit. T'as-tu rejoint ton ami? Ok. Ok, ben, réveille-toi, puis... Ok, ben, ok, tu vas en avoir... Tu vas m'en avoir quand je retourne en ville, là? Ok. Bye. Oh. Nice, man. Let's get back to town. I gotta go fucking do a few places for Dave.
You talked to.
I talked to him like in the last couple of weeks.
And
He's I don't know what's gonna be happening. Like he's gonna try to sell the company to one of his older guys. This guy Steph that was working with us.
why
Like,
you and Yan buy it?
how? You know, it's a little bit costs a lot of money.
Not if you pay him off every month.
I don't know.
Because that would mean that he gets. That would mean that he gets. You and Yan, honestly, you guys make a good team. Like, you guys make a really good team. And like,
I could maybe ask him, but I mean,
it would mean that if anything happens to him, then Gab would get a payment every month. Like a piece of it would go to Gab every month. And his girl and his wife, whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm gonna have to get a hold of him in the next week or so. See like what's gonna be happening.
because it's a really fucking well-known company and it's got a great reputation. It would be such a shame to just throw that away.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he's not gonna like just let the company die out.
But a lot of people cannot handle it. A lot of people ruin their reputation really fast by hiring really shitty employees. Like,
yeah. But it's he said maybe like this guy Jesse or this guy Steph, they were talking about buying the company off. He was supposed to sell it like a year ago, and they had a falling out or whatever. So
But
I
I
don't
doubt
know.
he gives a shit about the money part. I think he cares more about the reputation part, and his son
Yeah.
definitely has not shown any kind of interest in.
Well, yeah. So I'm
like-
gonna know in the next like week or two what's gonna be happening with that for the spring. You know, because I mean, fuck, you know, and I'll have to find some other work. If not,
Well, him too.
you know, yeah.
But,
We'll find something. That's for sure.
I was gonna make cookies and be like, message Gab to be like, can we bring Dean some cookies?
Yeah.
Like, and then I was gonna try to get Yan to talk to him about maybe taking over management of, like, Dean would still own the company, but you and Yan managing the day to day.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
Like, you would just
one way
do
or the
nothing.
other, one way or the other, you can just be back at work in the spring doing that, you know? So, anyways, we'll see what Dean decides.
Yeah.
Hey, Yan,
Yeah,
playing your game.
yeah.
Your friend's leaving.
Yeah, I gotta hit the road.
See you around, I guess.
I'll see you around.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's gonna snow in the next little while.
Hopefully.
It will.
I never thought I'd be wanting snow.
Oh my god, I never noticed that fucking painting of Jack like that.
Yeah!
Jack the hippie guy.
My portrait of my dog. Someone
Awesome.
bought it for me, just throwing that out there because it would be really kind of weird if I did it myself.
Oh, it's not you that did that?
Fuck no! Like, I'm not that obsessed with my dog. Like,
Oh fuck, man! It really it really looks like Jack's face. Big time.
it is Jack's face.
It is.
You sent it to, like, you sent a picture of your pet to this guy. And he,
Oh,
like,
okay. You had.
Yeah,
thing,
but someone
okay.
gave me as a gift.
Right.
Also, like, I didn't go out of my way to go find this person to do this for my
That's
dog.
fucking cool though. Love it.
Cool, take it easy. I'm back to my game.
Okay. So I'll talk to you guys soon.
You drive safe.
Thanks again.
Oh, I had to poop. That was actually a good talk. Oh, fuck yeah.
Chocolate company because they were, interested in seeing whether or not chocolate should have an effect. But also part of the study was the multivitamin business, and they had in that part of the study they had 60 people over the age of 60, and they did some tests with them on memory after having taken a multivitamin pill.
I hope he does go talk to Mariette.
There was some slight benefit. Well, yeah, I looked into the slight benefit, and that is the apt description of slight benefit. What happens is that they give these memory tests. Very much like the memory games that you play with kids with the cards, and you turn over the cards and see, whether you can find the one that matches. Well, these are sort of more sophisticated versions of that. And statistically, there was a very slight improvement in the people who took the multivitamins. Now, that does not mean that this translates to anything practical in daily life. They didn't, they didn't follow people to see whether or not they were more likely to relocate, where they had less vacancies, whether or not they had, better memory of names of their friends or whatever. So it's sort of a, interesting study because at least there was some sort of effect. But there's a big difference between finding something in the laboratory and finding something in everyday life that's really helpful. I'm against taking the daily multivitamin. Some people take it as it's cheap enough, and there may be people who really do have such atrocious diets, which I guess is not so rare in North America, but they may be deficient in some vitamins, particularly vitamin B12 and vitamin D. Those are the ones that are of concern. So taking one of these as a sort of nutritional insurance is, I don't really argue against that. Although obviously I think it's a better idea to look at your diet to see what you can, improve there. But this is not a study that one would make any major decisions, over and start recommending to someone to take a multivitamin based upon this study.
How about to eat chocolate?
Right. Well, you get no pleasure from the taking the supplements, all right? The chocolates, there may be something to as well. As long as you're talking about dark chocolate, it's 70% cocoa. The studies have not shown the memory improvement with that, but there is some again laboratory finding on lowering cholesterol levels, but again, it's not something that you would make any recommendation.
I wonder, this idea of just you have to remember to take the multivitamin every day. I wonder if that in itself is good for your memory because, it's a daily marker. I took my vitamins today.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, one thing is for sure, it's good for the people who sell the vitamins.
And speaking of selling stuff, so I've been hearing ads all over the place for this thing from Ebony and Danielle called Teen Mood. And it claims to, here, let me read a little bit. Perfect for moody or withdrawn adolescents. Our teen mood formula helps them regain a positive attitude and feel more relaxed.
That's kind of terrible.
Saffron Afron, blah, 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 blah. Easy to take, and they say it's the solution for your moody teens. Really?
Yeah, well, I guess I must have had some moody teens when they were growing up, although I don't remember. But
I can tell you they're moody. I have a tween, and they're moody. Like
all teenagers are fucking moody. Hard teenagers.
Yeah.
But I find it hard to believe that this, whatever this is they're selling, is going to somehow magically improve their.
What is it?
Saffron Afron.
Yeah. Well, it's not for the masses.
Oh.
Saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. It's from the type of crocus. And it's taken from the stigma, the little red, sort of thread-like things that you find in the middle of the flower. Mm-hmm. Very difficult to harvest. It's extremely expensive because it's all done by hand. And you have to harvest a lot of flowers to get enough saffron. It can cost up to $2,000 a kilo.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, you make extracts of it, and it contains a number of compounds, and the one that is of interest is something called picroprosin. And it's actually being investigated for depression. And there are some studies that show that it really does have an effect.
Hey.
Now, I don't know what they mean by positive mood and attitude, I don't know if that really qualifies as depression.
Yeah.
But there are enough studies here to pay attention to this and to see whether or not more can be learned about this. One problem with saffron is that there's a lot of fake stuff out there because, of course, it is so expensive, and so they use the stigma from other flowers. But one would hope that a company like this would be honest about extracting the right stuff. Mm-hmm. And something like saffron is interesting because it has been so popular, for example, in Iran for so long. and they use it there for all kinds of medical uses. Almost all of the research comes from Iran, and one concern here is that because it is the prime producer of saffron in the world, there's sort of a vested interest there to come up with studies that are positive.
Well, what do we use it here for, though? If you're using saffron here, what would you typically be using it for?
Okay.
Paella, it gives a nice little yellowish color, and it also has a taste. It's a very characteristic taste, and you don't need very much to put into your food. And
It's lovely.
you can put it into tea, for example. I have some saffron here that one of my Iranian colleagues gave me, and I've been experimenting with it, putting it into tea.
And does it improve your mood? Okay, so this sounds like, we talked about magnesium or GABA to like calm you and help you sleep. So it's that kind of thing. It can have that kind of effect on you.
Yes, but drinking chamomile tea also improves my mood.
There you go. Okay.
But anyway, it's interesting that I would not put this on the garbage heap of supplements.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, someone texted in our discussion, the reason kids today are moody or irritable is due to social media stress.
Yeah.
And the Ritalin that their parents are taking. So,
Yeah, well, we can talk about that another time too, because that is a real problem.
Dr. Joe, thank you so much.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, there you go, Dr. Joe Schwartz. You can catch him, as I said, Sundays at 3 here on CJD. Kind of like want to try. I thought as soon as he said saffron, you remember a guy named Donovan, the singer Donovan?
Of course.
I ran in the song that I'm just mad about saffron is mad about me. Not about saffron. 4 o'clock, we have James Mendes coming up right after this.
Montreal Now, brought to you by Dormez-vous. The New Year, New You event is on now with amazing prices on all your sleep essentials. Sleep well, stay well. Dormez-vous.
You're listening to the Voice of Montreal. News, Talk Radio, CJAD 800, an iHeart radio station.
Good afternoon, it's 4:01. I'm Jason Mayoff for the CTV News Update. A chance of flurries tonight. It's -5 downtown, but it feels like -11. Weather details in minutes. Here's what's making news right now. The government violated rights by using the Emergencies Act. A lawsuit against CHSLDs that had big COVID outbreaks, and a woman in Dollard was hit by a snowplow.
Oh, fuck.
For the latest from the CJAD 800 Traffic Center, here's Lauren Glazer.
We do the slow drive on the westbound connect between Beale and the carrier. Often on slow downs now for northbound Rankin, 440 up to St. Rose and Blainville is in Mirabel. Northbound 13 lanes 2 between Kennedy and Maui Barassa on the westbound.
So perpetual. Stop it.
Good morning. Also delays down southbound the station.
What? Hi, I love you.
Now again, forces through to St. John's, and now after Morgan running in Dale Perot. So holding your budget, 100% fiber internet, 500 megabits per second, and $50 per month with eBox. It's just what you need. Details ebox.ca. Traffic and transit every 15 minutes on CJAD 800. Your next report at 4:15.
In the news, a judge says the federal government's use of the Emergencies Act to shut down Freedom Convoy protests 2 years ago was unconstitutional. The ruling says the use of the act was unreasonable and infringed on people's constitutional rights. The government disagrees and appeals the ruling. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland says the federal government didn't make the decision to impose the Emergencies Act lightly.
It was a hard decision to take. We took it very seriously. After a lot of hard work, after a lot of careful deliberation. We were convinced at the time, I was convinced at the time, it was the right thing to do.
The protesters in trucks took over downtown Ottawa for several weeks in early 2022. A judge has approved a lawsuit on behalf of residents of CHSLDs that dealt with COVID outbreaks in the first 2 years.
Covers all residents of CHSLDs, where over 25% of people living there got
I
COVID.
lost
Accuses
my
the
phone.
management of CHSLDs of negligence, in care, and thousands of deaths. Plaintiff lawyer Patrick Nocturne announced that the 108 CHSLDs involved are all publicly run.
It will not affect the business like their own private non-chartered CHSLD, and it will not also affect private chartered CHSLDs.
If the plaintiffs win, everyone who lived in one of the long-term care homes would be eligible for $40,000, then another $60,000 if they contracted COVID. Family members of those who passed would also be eligible for tens of thousands. I'm John Higgin-Fleming.
A 75-year-old woman was seriously hurt this morning after being hit by a snow removal truck. It happened on Arthur Street in Dollard in a residential parking lot. The woman, who was on foot, suffered severe injuries to her lower body, but was conscious when taken to hospital. The future site of the Northvolt battery plant has been sabotaged. The Swedish company is planning a massive factory in St. Basilica and McMasterville. But a group of anonymous activists are pushing back and has claimed responsibility for driving nails through trees on the site. They're saying the tactic was to stop work on the project.
Environmental activists say they armed the forest overnight to protect itself. According to an anonymous press release, steel bars and nails have been put into several hundred trees to prevent them from being cut. The activists are denouncing the more than $7 billion project to build a Northvolt battery factory in the Montérégie region. The company has said some 8,000 trees would need to be cut.
They said the studded trees were marked with spray paint and posters were pinned around the area to ensure the safety of the people involved in, quote, destroying the forest. Turkish legislators have endorsed Sweden's membership in NATO. That was a major hurdle on Sweden's entry into the military alliance. Hungary remains the only NATO ally not to have ratified Sweden's membership. Montreal Children's Hospital's Foundation created a new residence for parents who have a child being treated at the hospital. The money was raised mainly by one Montreal family in honor of their young daughter. And CTV's Rob Lurie says it's named in the girl's honor.
That's so sad.
Was a beautiful little girl with a beaming smile who in 2014 was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor and later died at the age of 5 years old. And her mom, dad, and uncle wanted to find a way to keep Kat's memory alive. And so they raised $1 million for cancer research and pledged to raise another $2 million for the Cat Dennis Pavilion.
They expect several hundred stays at the residence every year. For all the news during the day, stream us on your smart speaker. Just say play CJ80 800. Your next CTV News update is at 4:30.
This newscast brought to you by Bust a Move Moving. Are you moving soon? Save your back and leave the heavy lifting to the pros at Bust a Move Moving. Free estimates at bustamovemoving.com. Let's take a look at your weather forecast. Lori Brain with the CTV Weather Center. Laura, I could take a whole bunch more days like today. It's actually not so bad out there at all.
Yeah, actually earlier today, we actually hit a high right around the freezing mark, right up around 0, so it was mild. But temperatures are starting to drop off, and that's because an Arctic front has moved through. So we're currently sitting at -5, feeling like -11. It's freezing northeasterly winds at 20 kilometers per hour. The temperatures will continue to drop overnight, so it will be a colder night than it was last night. Tonight's low -12, which is closer to the seasonal low of -15. And we're going to hang on to those northeasterly winds at 20 kilometers per hour, so it's going to feel more like -20. Keep that in mind when you're heading out the door.
What?
High near -5, but it's tomorrow night that we're tracking the storm system that's coming up from the U.S. and it looks like this system could bring freezing rain into Montreal beginning tomorrow evening, just after the evening commute. So around 7 or 8 o'clock tomorrow evening, Environment Canada has already issued a freezing rain warning, and it looks like this could be several hours of freezing rain for Montreal. We could see a little bit of mixing in and around the island, but right now it does look like freezing rain. We could see about 5 millimeters of ice buildup. Again, that's Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So Thursday morning, as you're heading out, we could be looking at some slippery surfaces. Keep that in mind if you are walking or driving, because Thursday morning could be a tricky one.
So, I mean, once we get that freezing rain, are we going to start to see temperatures drop? Is that what's going to make things even worse?
Well, temperatures are actually going to stay on the mild side into Friday as well, but we could be looking at another round of freezing precipitation in the early morning hours of Friday. So Friday morning's commute could also be a tricky one. We've got drier conditions on the way for the weekend. Daytime high Saturday, Sunday, right around the freezing mark, and then the temperatures will drop on Monday. Monday's going to be a particularly cold day, but it looks like it should be short-lived.
Okay, so maybe just take the rest of the week off and avoid this one. All right.
I like that idea.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, all right. James Money coming up next.
James Many, brought to you by Gilbert and Daughter. Right now, fall and winter fashions are 50% off their already discounted prices. Gilbert and Daughter, 49 on a gang in Point Claire.
You're listening to Montreal Now with Aaron Rand and Natasha Hall on CJAD 800. That is James Benning over at the Montreal Gazette. So, Jim, let's start off with this. I'm guessing we're talking about this CHSLD lawsuit here that's now going to be happening.
Yeah, well, class action suit. I mean, $10 million class action suit would have won absolutely horribly timed development for the Legault government. I mean, we have remarked repeatedly on the show that, you know, to a certain extent, those are the glory days for this government. They could do no wrong. They were at the table in terms of the message. They were pretty well, you know, what their word law. And now, after a rather embarrassing coroner's inquest and ombudsman's investigation into how the government was running this, we're going to be revisiting this in a completely different context now, with a government that is anything but popular, with a premier who is considered to be anything other than infallible or trustworthy by many Quebecers, certainly those in the Quebec City area. So this is just awful, and it wouldn't surprise me, guys, if, you know, I'm seeing a dollar figure attached to this of being 10 million. It wouldn't surprise me if the government decides to settle this rather than proceed with what could be a very torturous and damaging revisitation to one of the darker chapters, not just of this government's history, but of Quebec's history.
Well, we're talking here, by the way, only public CHSLDs?
Well, there's only 118 of them. I think that's enough. So yeah, we're not talking about the cases like Aaron.
Right.
But listen, things are bad enough. You know, wouldn't have mattered. The virus didn't care. You know who was paying the bills. The fact is, the suit contends that there was a plan to respond to this that sat on the shelf that nobody thought. Of all the things that was going on, nobody thought to actually go to this, you know, pandemic reaction plan, which had been put together by the World Health Organization, which was there, you know, in case of emergency, break glass. Nobody touched that. This is what the lawyers contend, and people paid for that negligence, for that incompetence with their lives. And clearly, you know, Supreme Court justice, there's enough there. There's enough there to be argued in a court of law. And for me, I don't think so much a matter of the level of responsibility or liability. It's just that can this government stand that kind of sentimental journey back into hell, especially at a time in a crucial year, really, before an election year, where it's got to do everything it can to re-burnish its image, and all of a sudden, you know, because we all know this is going to be making, despite the fact that, you know, it's been 4 years, for a lot of people, it seems like 4 weeks ago, and this is going to make a lot of headlines.
I will tell you, we're having one of the lawyers on in the suit just after 5:30 to break it down and give us the details on what they're looking for from the government. So just after 5:30, just for those just hearing the story.
I find that I'm going to ask you the same kind of thing that I always ask you, Jim, which is because I feel like I'm waiting all the time for the straw that broke the camel's back, for people to just say, no, I'm done with this government. Could this be the one thing? Could this?
Absolutely. I think this is a horrible. This is the worst possible thing that could happen. The worst possible, because this is not about some not like we have an actual, as far as I'm concerned, official opposition. This is not like the official opposition standing up and making their life difficult. This is a path that everyone remembers. This is a path that a lot of people still feel resentful over, whether it's because of the vaccination passport, or simply because of the way we were told to stand on our heads and you know, and we get through this and we went through all of these various hoops and whatever to finally come down and then discover after the fact that fundamental stuff that should have been done to protect the most vulnerable people in our society, the people we owe the biggest debt to, which is our elderly, they got hung out to dry and they literally died by the thousands. This is not something your way out of, no matter how gifted a public speaker you are, no matter how good your political reputation. This is a very, very dark cloud that has passed over Quebec, and now it looks like it's going to be coming back. So, and as I say, there's a part of me that says already, I think there may be people in the government trying to assess how quickly, how elegantly they can settle this without too many headlines being cracked up.
Although I will point out, historically, I mean, it seems to me the Premier's not one, we've noticed that, to back down and never basically say, I'm wrong, by just simply saying, okay, we'll settle this thing. That's admitting exactly that. Is it likely the government will do that? You really think that's what's going to happen here?
I tell you, Aaron, don't forget, and as you and I were talking back in those days, this was Francois Legault's show. He was the star. He was the MC. He was the stage manager to all of this. I mean, we talked about Arruda and so on, but it was basically Francois Legault's, father of the nation, press conferences. The pandemic, the good that was done with the pandemic is indelibly a part of Francois Legault's political reputation. But the problem is that works both ways. And we're finding out, now that we found out that Francois Legault has, how can I put it, a rather casual relationship with the facts every now and then, that his credibility is not what it once was. If we start hearing about problems that occurred in these long-term care centers over the first and second waves of the pandemic, as we did during the quarantine, as we did during the Quebec office investigation as well. But I think the context now is, well, cut them some slack, nobody knew what they were doing. There was a plan. We're discovering that there were things that we weren't told. There were things in place that weren't used. There were levers and buttons that should have been pushed, but nobody knew what, to push them. And perhaps given the scrutiny that our healthcare system is under right now, and God help us, there's nothing saying it couldn't happen again. I think a lot of people will be paying attention to this, and I honestly believe that the amount of damage that simple straight up coverage of this class action suit to have on this government is the possibility is off the scale.
Yeah, no one wants to read with that.
Well, it's funny. That's what I'm thinking at this as it's coming out. Like I tune it out to some degree because it takes us back to such an ugly place. So that's my only thing. My thought process is.
Yeah, but your job is to report fucking controversial and difficult conversations. That's your job.
Maybe we should find out exactly what happened.
I agree.
James Rennie at the Montreal Gazette. Thank you, Jim. Go to traffic, CJ Traffic Center, where Lauren Glazer has a look at your drive on this Tuesday afternoon. Lauren?
Aaron, Natasha, looking northbound to Cary, it is a pretty tough drive. The volume now starting from the road up to the top. Southbound to Cary, delays there from the top to go St. Catherine. Pretty busy on the westbound side of the train now. The volume from ahead of Hungary up to Ville St. Pierre, also losing some time through sources. Again, after Morgan running at Field Perel. Delays for northbound 13. Start go to the end front up Valerie Barassa and between the 344 and 640. Also a pretty slow drive on the west-hand side of the T-Can, starting after Morgan and heading to the Torque Bridge. Got a hole in your budget? 100% fiber internet, 500 megabits per second, and $50 per month with eBox is just what you need. Details at ebox.ca. Let us know what you see on the roads. Call in your text 100. Your actual point, yeah, 4:30.
All right, thank you, Lauren. We're going to get to our question today in a second here because our next guest, is going to tell you about what's going on, and then you can weigh in on this. It's about a brand new Angus Reid poll. But how Canadians right now anyway, and we're not having an election any day soon, but how Canadians are already starting to think about how to vote in a federal election. And the results, well, let me just say they're quite eye-opening. That's coming up next.
Montreal Now, brought to you by Gourmet Food. The New Year, New You event is on now with amazing prices on all your sleep essentials. Sleep well, stay well. Gourmet Food.
This cordless drill goes in the recycling bin, right? Well, worst case, they'll throw it away the sorting center. Yeah, worst case. Worst case, they'll get crushed in the back of the truck. And worst case, the lithium from the battery will be exposed to the air, causing it to ignite and blow up. So worst case, it can start a fire in the sorting center, damage the equipment, and injure the employees. So yeah, worst case. It couldn't hurt to check. What you put in the bin has an impact. Containers, packaging, printed paper. That's it. A message from Bin Impact, the new reference for curbside recycling.
McDonald's breakfast burrito. It's your McDonald's breakfast wrapped in a cozy tortilla blanket. To be wrapped in a cozy tortilla blanket. Participating restaurants in Canada until 11 a.m. If you are struggling with mental health issues, including addiction, come to Dunham House, located on 85 acres in the beautiful and peaceful Eastern Townships. Our brand new additional building provides 12 more beds, individual and group counseling services, life skill workshops, and various therapeutic activities, including art, music, and equine assisted therapy. If you need help, call Dunham House today at 450-263-3434 or dunhamhouse.ca, 1 hour from Montreal.
I'm Martin Hope, the inventor of Navage nasal care, and I love Navage. Noses the body's air filter. The Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and the Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like this woman's review, quote, I've always been susceptible to sinus colds and a long-time sufferer of horrible allergies. On top of that, I'm pregnant and allergic to certain medications. 11 days of being absolutely miserable, my husband ordered Navage for me. I can't recommend this product enough. It's the only thing that works for me. 100% worth the investment. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is at Canadian Family Free, Ned, Jean Coutu, and Navage.ca. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Real estate is not the only place we can earn it. Hello, I'm Richard LaPointe, investment advisor with CIBC Woodgun. Did you know you can use options as a way to generate a regular stream of income on your stock portfolio? The strategy is called Covered Call Ready. I think this is a valuable tool for some investors. A way of earning rent, if you will. For more information, call me. I'm Richard LaPointe, and I can always be reached at 847-6324.
Options are not necessarily suitable for all investors, and certain conditions may apply. CIBC Wood Gundy is a division of CIBC World Markets Inc., member of CIGF and IROC.
You're invited to a second step for the official opening of the new horse race betting parlor at Shea Putters in Gavity, Belmer. The first 25 clients get $20 in credit vouchers. C'est le départ, they're off. Details at betsandmoves.com. Tonight on CTV News.
A class action suit against long-term care homes over COVID infections, and the family turns their faith into a project to help others in as much as possible. The stories and more at 6 o'clock on CTV and CTV.
When renovating, you want peace of mind. Call Rodolfo, winner Consumer's Choice Award and West Island Chamber of Commerce Excellence in Business category. Rodolfo.com, 514-856-9993. When there's always lots to talk about, this is the place to have your say. Montreal now. CJAG 800.
Okay, we have a new poll, new industry poll that is asking Canadians how they feel about this next federal election and how they might vote. And the results, as I said, are interesting and eye-opening from the perspective of typically someone will simply say, well, I'm going to vote Liberal or I'm going to vote Conservative. We don't necessarily break it down. We assume they're voting one way because they like the leader, the party, their policies. But this poll, this is a little different. John Rowe is a research associate at the English Freed Institute. He's on the line. John, thanks for being here. So let me start by asking, as I said, this is sort of one of those polls when you look at the results, and it really is, it seems to me anyway, it's more a poll on unpopularity than popularity. So can you break it down to us?
Nope. Oh, good. Oh. You are so super sad. What do you want my life? Oh. I love our house. Our house. It's in the middle of Kuma Street. Our house. Yay! Yay! Yay!
Go right now. The next prime minister of this country will be the one who's regarded as the least unpopular. Is that
as the least unpopular?
Your calls, your text, 790
English, please.
51400 for those texts, which we'll get to when we come back. That's it.
Are you troubled by your use of alcohol, drugs, or medicine? Drugs Help and Referral provides listening and information. It is confidential, free, and available 24/7. Call or chat via drughelp.quebec.
Having a fire or flood in your home is devastating. Fire damage, water damage, and smoke everywhere, but you don't have to insurance companies or contractors. Bernalco specializes in full-service restorations, including the smell of smoke, damage removal, and new design and rebuilding. They also deal with the insurance company, all with one project manager to keep the work moving smoothly. Call 514-856-9993 or visit our 999.co.com.
Sarah used to let things get to her.
Yeah, we'll start dumping
The
it.
news. Or the fake news. The new girl at work. Her old boyfriend's new girlfriend. All that changed when she traveled south with their transit. It's the comeback change promo. Book now, get up to 20% off on flights down south and to Florida. Visit airtransact.com, conditions apply. Air Transat, travel moves us.
During Cora's all-you-can-eat crepe festival, 1 crepe is $10. 5 crepes, $10. 10 crepes? Anyone? Also $10. Are we good? We're good. Offer available on plain crepes until February 11th. Only in restaurant at Cora breakfast and lunch.
Good afternoon, it's 4:30. I'm Jason Mayotte for the CTV News Update. Here's what's making news right now. A judge has ruled the Liberal government's use of the Emergencies Act in early 2022 was unreasonable. The federal government used the act during the weeks-long protests against COVID restrictions that closed several border crossings and brought downtown Ottawa to a standstill. The government says it will appeal. The lawsuit by the main suspect in the killing of 9-year-old Savita Provencher will be held in public. The SQ argued it should be held behind closed doors. The judge says the court will decide on a case-by-case basis whether to issue publication bans or go behind closed doors when sensitive information about the case comes out. And a 75-year-old woman is in hospital after being hit by a snow removal truck in Dollard. It happened this morning on Arthur Street. The woman suffered serious lower body injuries.
Well, no shit. Hit by a fucking snowplow.
With the latest from the CJAD 800 Traffic Center, here's Lauren Glazer.
We are seeing a pretty slow drive on the westbound side of the Met now between
The westbound side of the Met?
St. Michel. We did have very good snow there. More volume between Lasky and the McCarry interchange. Pretty slow drive now on the westbound side of the TCAM. The delays start Morgan out to the Latour Bridge. Eastbound side of the TCAM busy as well. Chateau Vaudreuil to the Latour. Take again before Cavendish Street St. Laurent eastbound Met. And again between Lac-Wardier and Anjou. Westbound side of the 20 is tough before Angrignol out to Bill St. Pierre now between Sources and St. John's. And pretty slow between Morgan and Doriel. Get past to Barbados with Air Canada Vacations and save $200 per couple. To contact your travel agent or visit aircanadavacations.com. Traffic and transit every 15 minutes on CJAD 800. Your next report at 4:45.
The Dormigo Weather Center forecast increasing cloudiness for the chance of flurries overnight, below -10, the wind chill -18. Cloudy with a chance of flurries.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
-2, the wind chill -16 in the morning, -7 in the afternoon, and Thursday, cloudy in the high +1. It's -6 downtown, but it feels like -13. Your next CTV News Update is at 5 o'clock.
This newscast brought to you by Electroaid, heating and air conditioning specialists for over 70 years. They service all brands, no matter who put them in. 514-333-7460, electroaid.ca.
Sometimes a smile isn't a smile. Sometimes it's a shield that hides a struggle. For some who have served in the Canadian Armed Forces or RCMP, mental health challenges can take on many faces. If you're struggling, there is support for you.
I am struggling.
Visit veterans.gc.ca/mental health or call 1-866-522-2122. A message from the Government of Canada.
Changing a light bulb. Simple. Whoa. That's not supposed to happen. Quickly submitting and tracking a claim on the Bel Air Direct app actually is simple. Bel Air Direct. Insurance simplified.
At Mental Bernard, they believe a good night's sleep should be compromised by price. So there's no better time than now to equip yourself with a new mattress, pillows, and bedding during their Buy More, Save More event. Shop in store or online at CA. At Luciani Cadillac, when leasing our demos, the first payment is on us, and prepaid maintenance is included. More details at LucianiCadillac.com or come in for a test drive at 4000 Chantilly West. At Luciani Cadillac, you'll love our people and our service.
This is Sam Watts from Welcome Home Mission. In 2024, the needs are greater than ever. When you donate to Welcome Home Mission, you help us provide food groceries to families struggling to make ends meet. You help us to connect seniors who are living in isolation to the Health and Social Services Network. And importantly, you help us support people who don't have a place to call home so they can get back into permanent housing. The only way forward is giving back. Please donate today at welcomehomemission.com.
Birthdays, baptisms, confirmations, and engagement parties all have one thing in common. You need to serve lots of food. Celebrate your occasion at Restaurant Jimena, and don't worry about a thing.
As small as 10 and as big as 100. They have the space, they have the food. High-end Italian cuisine. Also,
And then the coffee pot back on. You want another coffee?
Any occasion.
You want me to give you a new cup? Your cup's probably dirty.
Restaurant Jimena. Check out their specialty menus at jimena.com.
Are you worried about a loved
Guys,
one
done with me?
using gambling? Do the gambling habits of a loved one have repercussions in your life? There is help. Call Gambling Help and Referral or chat via talk about confidential, free, 24/7.
Every level 100 tonight, Jake?
You told me, baby.
I don't think.
No?
You're going to vote for the Conservatives. Are you more motivated by supporting Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative Party, and policies? Or are you more motivated by blocking the Liberals? And it's about 2/3 of Conservative voters say, yeah, I'm more motivated by supporting Pierre Poilievre. Whereas comparatively for the Liberals, it's the opposite. The 1/3 say they're supporting the party because of the policies and the leader, and 2/3 say they want to vote Liberal because they want to block the Conservatives.
There you go. That is our interview for just before 4:30 with New Angus Reid poll. Liberal voters, and this is unusual, I think. I mean, I asked historically, and of course, if you go back, they say Stephen Harper was quite unpopular towards the end. I don't remember being like this, though. But
No, he was not unpopular. You guys just have the fucking worst memory of anyone ever.
They're going to vote Liberal to avoid Pierre Poilievre from becoming the Prime Minister.
I can totally understand that.
And it doesn't, you're right, it doesn't come as a giant surprise given the infighting that's been going on. And
By the time that guy was fucking out, he was fucking running out with his tail between his fucking legs. Like,
are you one of these people?
Trying to bring us into the
feel
fucking
like
elite.
that the next Prime Minister of this country will be the one who's regarded as the least unpopular? Because they're both not popular. So it'll be the one.
Giant douche and turd sandwich.
That's who gets to be the Prime Minister.
Right, and voting.
Holding your nose.
What are you crying at me for?
And I can see that because Trudeau.
You are on my shit list right now, so.
More annoying, if I'm being honest.
Let's go to the phone. What do you think? Is this you? Is this how you plan to vote? 790-0800, 51400 for you. Text. Let's go to Nikki and Laval. Nikki.
Yes, hi guys. Listen, I am not partisan one way or the other, but I will definitely, absolutely, 100% go for Bush. Because not because he's the Messiah, but because he does have a good chance to get rid of it.
Having fun.
So you're having fun?
Yeah.
And
I'm very happy.
I know people who are going to vote liberal to block conservatives. And I keep saying, have you not seen the record? Have you not seen the race?
Okay.
The non-transparent.
Thank you.
So, in my opinion, absolutely conservative. This time.
Everybody says we're nonpartisan.
No, I'm not. I have not. This would be only since Trudeau has arrived if I ever voted conservative.
Can I ask how you feel about Pierre Poilievre's policies? Because that's one of the things that Conservatives are being most criticized for right now, is just criticizing the Trudeau policies, but not actually putting forth their own.
Well, he's in opposition, and if you know politics, you know that opposition leaders don't reveal the majority of their policies prior to an election because the other party may well steal them or take them as their own. So, of course, he's not revealing his policies to that extent.
I think at some point, though, you have to reveal something to give people an idea that it's not just about criticizing the other person, but that you have a point. I will remember one of his ideas was we should be using Bitcoin. I'm just saying. Let me go to Jeff on the line. Jeff, what about you?
The whole poll just shows the low intelligence of the average Canadian voter. It's not about personal popularity. Yes,
okay.
It's not about personal popularity. The one question that is the question every single Canadian has to ask themselves: are we better off today than we were 8 years ago? And the answer by every objective third-party metric is an absolute no. Full capital underlined. There is no doubt that we were all poorer as a country and as individuals. And that should be the only metric we use when we go to voting. Not whether he's popular, he's got nice socks, he's got nice hair. Guys, a disaster is government is a disaster.
Okay, and I think that's a really good point. I mean, you'd like to think people would be able to make an evaluation based simply on that. That's entirely fair. Is it fair at the same time, Jeff, to suggest, wait a sec, you had a pandemic and that changed everything, so you can't necessarily ask that question without taking the pandemic into account?
You can necessarily ask that question. Yes, you can necessarily. They wasted billions on this earth. They blocked pipelines. They have foreign investment in this country has fallen off a cliff. It has literally fallen off a cliff. We are the laughing stock of the world. Nothing is working. Did we forget about the passport office, the airport, all the conflicts of interest cases, the most recent being the taxi vacation in Jamaica, Admiral Normal, Admiral Norman, Jennifer.
Okay, I get it. I get it. No, don't cut him off. Jeff, are you still there?
I'm here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. So look, you have a long litany of items that should make it obvious you're suggesting to people as the main reason, never mind popularity, here's why you shouldn't be voting for this president. I get it, right?
Yeah,
Fair
I
enough.
think.
Yeah.
I think the people who are, you have makers and you have takers. Any maker of wealth, any person who's working hard to create something, to save money, to put their kids through school, to buy a house, any person in that maker category who votes liberal, deserve what you're gonna get, because what you're gonna get ain't gonna be free.
Jeff, I thank you for the call. See? Simar, is it Simar?
Yeah, I think
Simar, what do you think?
I have to be honest with you guys. I believe you guys are either misinformed or misinforming the public when you say that here does not put any concrete policy proposals.
No, I didn't say that. The caller
No, I
said.
did say that, but I was saying that all the political candidates, everybody that we talked to about it, that's one of their biggest criticisms. Conservative and liberal and nonpartisan, by the way.
Well, I would say that you should follow his social media account. Here is a very, very clear, very concise, and very common sense proposal for healthcare, housing, and the economy, specifically with, for example, housing. What he wants to do is he wants to match federal funds with the provinces.
Yeah, okay, I don't, I understand what you're saying. You're saying he has made proposals, he has had plans. I get it. With respect to voting, Mark, how do you see the vote here? Do you buy that part about they're both unpopular?
No, I don't.
Okay.
If you look at Pierre's rallies, Canada-wide, it's extremely popular.
Okay.
People have a lot of faith in him, and I'm probably going to vote him for the next Prime Minister. And I believe that Justin Trudeau violated the civil liberties of peaceful protesters in this country, and I think he deserves to be in prison.
I thank you for the call. There you go.
On the text line, Christine says, I'm afraid of Polyev becoming Prime Minister candidate. He's too right-wing, definitely not a Joe Clark or Brad Mulroney type of conservative. Seems more American, and I'm talking about the Trump thing, but basically she's saying Trudeau has issues, and he's annoying, but he's the devil we know. So would vote liberal again. This one then says, if you vote for Trudeau when you already know he's incompetent and destroyed Canada, you deserve him. At least if you vote Polyev, you have a chance to change. It's a no-brainer.
This is exactly what we're talking about, right? This idea, this sort of back and forth, it's less and less civil all the time when it comes to sort of trying to make a decision here. And mainly from the conservative side.
This one says Polyev is actually popular. It's only those liberals like you who can't accept it. Polyev is more popular with under 35s than Trudeau.
At least I'm.
Why?
Reliable source of information. But that said, these people occupy their seats in the outhouse in Ottawa. They don't live in the real world. And when I say look at this poll, this particular one, in a broader context, I think what Canadians are actually saying is to all of them, to all four leaders really, none of you can be trusted.
Okay.
Oh.
None of you can be trusted. We trust none of you. We're taking our chances either way. But in the broader scope, you people can't be trusted. We don't trust you. And all parties better get their act together, and they better get together real quick.
Well, where does that leave us, Jerry, if you can't trust anybody running for office?
Well, that's actually a good question. I don't know.
You're voting for the lesser of all evils. Then you're basically saying what this poll is saying, right? You don't trust anybody. Nobody's popular.
I think this poll is
giving it a
accurate.
rally.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
this poll
kind of what it
taps
comes
into
down
how
to.
Canadians are feeling.
You got to look and say who has disappointed me less. That's what I'm going to vote for.
Yep.
Politics is
That's where we're at.
No question. Certainly finding that out of Canada. Jerry, thank you for your call. Faye's on the line. Sorry, Faye. Go ahead.
I don't know if you remember Stephen Harper's campaign years ago was
Bring us into the Middle East with Bush.
not ready. You know, when he was running for president. You know what? He really wasn't ready. He's been pretty bad over the years, and he's talked big, goes under the bus.
Nah, this is all fucking fine.
He just stands on Israel
He
with
knew he was gonna do all this shit.
Just doesn't support Israel, and he calls for a ceasefire, not knowing what is going on.
So you're not voting for Justin Trudeau?
No,
Okay.
no. If I vote conservative where I live, it probably won't make a difference. The conservatives rarely win any seats here.
Okay. Faye, thank you for the call. Didn't do that. Sandra, are you there?
I am here.
What do you think?
I'm actually called because all these people who think that Poilievre is Messiah, just look at his voting record.
Yeah.
He was conservative the retirement age to 67. The Liberals went back to 65. Voted against dental, voted against daycare. And all of a sudden, people think that suddenly he's gonna turn over.
No, and he's got investments in the housing market, which he totally disclosed right off the bat.
The NAFTA agreement under the Trump administration, when Trump was ready to
Yeah,
take
he's
Canada
a
under the
total
bus.
fucking oil monger. Like,
Are we kidding that we think, you know?
yeah, no, but like you guys are like rah, save the planet, but then you're like, oh, I don't like Trudeau, so I'm gonna go with someone who is literally
Edward,
like
final word. What do you think?
For Trudeau.
American Republican.
I'm not sure. What he just calling names of Trudeau. The guy, when the election comes and we go to his wardrobe and you bring his filters, all the things he did, the Congo, the currency, everything. I'm not sure people because of Trudeau. He knows how he speaks. One thing is he knows how to speak, he doesn't know how to talk.
So you're not voting Justin Trudeau?
No.
I got no.
To a guy who's barely speaking English right now.
On the text line,
That's
most
sad.
Canadian elections come down to who is
Learn
the
how to
least hated
speak.
candidate
Learn how
between
to
liberals
talk.
and conservatives. The only time, that's what this texter says, the only time we see change is when a leader has been in power. So long the majority just vote for change. It almost makes our elections pointless. Most people have no idea of what any of the party's platforms actually are. There's some truth in that. This one says conservatives by nature, this is Mike in RDP. Conservatives by nature want to take this country back a few steps, individuality over helping each other out. That's what conservatives are based on, Mike says. I don't like Trudeau though, and the whole Liberal Party is a mess, but guess what? I will vote Liberal to keep mini Trump out. It's funny, I really don't like calling him. I know that there are Trump-like approaches and attitudes, but I don't know, I kind of recoil with that, but I see your point, Mike. And then Chris says, I will be voting for the Conservatives. We cannot afford the Liberals or NDP any longer. The top conservative political platforms are free market principles, lower taxes, reduced government intervention, committing to balanced budget, responsible spending, no more taxing carbon, it goes on and on, but all of this, it says, I'm voting for the platform, not the man. I like that statement, Chris, and I like that you're making some of the platform clear, because I feel, like we said, the vast majority of people, we don't have a good sense of that. Sharon says, I'm a staunch Liberal. I will continue to vote Liberal, and I do agree that Justin Trudeau no longer shines. We must do everything we can to make sure Mr. All Smarm No Charm ever becomes the leader of this country, Sharon writes. Yeah, he continues to show us each and every day just who he is, and he has absolutely no qualities fitting of a prime minister.
All smart.
Wait, there's one more good
no
one.
Charm.
Yeah, isn't that good? All Smarm No Charm. One more here. Michael says, I'm a conservative by nature. I'll be voting conservative. However, anyone who lashes out and uses the term woke liberal lives on the internet and is not a contributor to society in a productive and good manner. Both sides have great points. I just believe in less programs and government red tape. Nice text there, Michael. These are great.
I will now, so we're out of time. I will point out that in this Angus Reid poll, the one we started talking about at the beginning, the Tories are leading the Liberals in all regions of Canada except Quebec. Thank you for your calls. Appreciate your
the mayor.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll get more on this. It'd be interesting to see. Remember, the Liberals are in town here at a retreat, and I'm sure there'll be a reaction to this poll. And we'll probably have that probably later in the week as well. That should be interesting too.
Also probably reaction to the finding that the Emergencies Act should
Yeah.
not have been invoked.
Which we will talk about with Tom Montero after 5. Let's get to traffic. Let's see what's going on. It's a Tuesday afternoon. Lauren Glazer at the CJD at Hunter Traffic Center. Lauren?
Aaron, Natasha having a pretty tough time on the westbound side of the Met between Langelier and St. Michel. We did have it earlier, stalled through that area. Also delays between Lackady and the Carry interchange. We're also losing some time northbound Laurentian. Starts at the Met, runs up to Cartier, again St. Elsiar through to St. Rose. More volume, Blainville up to Mirabel. Northbound 13, pretty slow. Côte Lieste, Henri Bourassa on the westbound side of the T-Can. That's a tough drive between Morgan and the Torque Bridge. Westbound side of the 20, that has volume on Grinnell through to Ville St. Pierre. Some volume as well. Sources out to St. John's. Pretty slow now between Morgan and Dorio. Outbound side of the Mercier Bridge, that is backing into Ville St. Pierre. Get the best of Barbados with Air Canada Vacations. That's a $200 per couple. To book, contact your travel agent or visit aircanadavacations.com. Let us know what you see on the roads. Call in your tips to star 800. Your next report at 5 o'clock.
All right, we're going to get to our news quiz, see if we can give you a chance to win some money. And it doesn't matter if you're conservative or liberal. You have a chance to win money either way. Or NDP or even both block. It's fine. The Empire Gold News Quiz gives you a chance, if you know your news, to win some money. $1,500, in fact, if you run the table and get them all right. But it begins with this toss-up question, which if you think or when you think you have the answer to, you give us a call at 790-0800. Here you go.
What word did Pierre Poilievre use to describe Montreal Mayor Valérie Plante when it comes to housing?
Think you know? One more time.
What word did Pierre Poilievre use to describe
Incompetent! Incompetent!
What was that?
Incompetent!
790-0800, the Empire Gold News Quiz. Your shot at $1,500 is next.
Montreal's home for live sports and sports talk. TSN 690.
Should I call? I should call.
When you need to know. When you need to get it off your chest.
Every game is winnable.
I should totally call.
This is a team that is capable of Jekyll and Hyde to an extent that is difficult to comprehend.
It's incompetent. It's called incompetent.
On TSN 690.
Do you drive regularly? Alpha Sciences is looking for healthy women aged 40 to 65 and driving a minimum of 8,000 kilometers a year. Participate in a clinical study with a driving simulator in Montreal. You may receive up to $10,600 for your participation. Visit goalta.ca for more details or call Alta Sciences at 514-373-2003. That's goalta.ca or 514-373-2003.
Do your legs feel tired and heavy? Do you experience cramps, pain, or tingling in your legs or feet? These signs of poor circulation and yoga. Active legs from Rebounding is scientifically formulated to improve circulation and strengthen veins and blood vessels in the legs, using clinically proven natural ingredients like grape seeds, nerve and blood extract, and infusion. 70% of active users report being symptom-free in just 60 days. Shoppers Drug Mart, Loblaw, Superstore, and Jogger or online at Amazon and newmarket.ca. At BDC, we work with entrepreneurs to spark more growth. With our advisory services and flexible financing, we help businesses so they can thrive over time. That's what BDC's guidance and support is all about. Our ambition is clear, empowering more entrepreneurs to shine brighter, longer. We're on it. BDC, the Bank of Ambition. Sarah used to let things get to her. Like the news, or the fake news. The new girl at work, her boyfriend's new girlfriend. All that changed when she traveled south with their comeback. It's the comeback change promo. Book now, get up to 20% off on flights down south into Florida. Visit airtransat.com, conditions apply. Air Transat, travel moves us.
Are you worried about a loved one addicted to gambling? Do the gambling habits of a loved one have repercussions in your life? There is help. Call Gambling Help and Referral or chat via gamblinghelp.quebec. Confidential, free, 24/7.
They're called Cuisine West Island because they made their name manufacturing and installing new kitchens. But why stop there? Transform your entire home with Cuisine West Island the way you like it. Contemporary, modern, country, urban, kitchens, bathrooms, or built-in furniture. Everything is designed and manufactured right here in Montreal.
What did Pierre Poilievre call Valérie Plante?
Walk in and see for yourself at 2758 St. Charles in Kirkland or at cuisinewestisland.com. Cuisine West Island, for those not easily impressed.
What did Pierre Polyev call Valerie Laplante?
Problems with humidity. Problems with your crawl space. Problems with mold.
Pierre Polyev.
With your sump pump. Cracks in the bricks.
Not even fucking close.
Walls. For all of these basement problems, contact Système Sous-Sol Québec at sousol.ca. Système Sous-Sol is the solution to all your basement problems, guaranteed for 25 years. Système Sous-Sol, your basement expert.
Don't you start eating stuff.
Montrealers' favorite fine furniture store is Mobile Art Decor. For over 30 years, Mobile Art has been the best source of exceptional, top-quality luxury furniture, custom upholstery, and accessories for lighting and design that will inspire and motivate you. Imported from Europe and around the world for every room and every taste. For a truly unique experience, professional interior design advice, and great service, visit Mobile Art, 8260 Devonshire, west of DeCary. MobileArt.ca.
This is Stan Watts from Welcome Home Mission. In 2024, the needs are greater than ever. When you donate to Welcome Home Mission, you help us provide free groceries to families struggling to make ends meet. You help us to connect seniors who are living in isolation to the Health and Social Services Network. And importantly, you help us support people who don't have a place to call home so that they can get back into permanent housing. The only way forward is giving back. Please donate today at welcomehomemission.com. Do you have a blocked nose?
Come on.
An upset stomach? Follow your pharmacist's advice and rest up at home. There are efficient alternatives to the emergency room. Learn more at quebec.ca/health access. A message from the Gouvernement du Québec. The McDonald's breakfast burrito. It's your McDonald's breakfast.
No, come on.
Cozy tortilla blanket. To be wrapped in a cozy tortilla blanket. Participating restaurants in Canada until 11 a.m.
The Night Country, it takes us one by one.
True Detective, Night Country, the HBO original series. Stream now, only on Crave. Plan starting at $9.99 a month. Subscribe now.
Now, it's time to play Good News Quiz.
Brought to you by Empire Gold.
60 seconds, 10 questions.
A $1,500 prize.
All right, let's see what we got going on here. Natasha is on the line. Hi, Natasha.
Hello. Hi.
How are you?
Good. Fine.
It's a different Natasha. She's on the phone.
What?
Hi, Natasha. Hey, Natasha, you have your radio on?
Yes.
Would you mind turning it down, please?
Yes.
Sure.
I really like the name.
Okay.
What are you doing, Jack?
Natasha, this is Natasha. Just want you to meet.
Nice to meet you, Natasha.
Hi.
Okay. Let's begin with our toss-up question for today, which was as follows.
What word did Pierre Polyev
Incompetent!
about himself when it comes to housing?
Incompetent. Incompetent is absolutely correct. So, Natasha, you are in the game. There will be 9 questions, 60 seconds. If you get them all right, you win $1,500.
I'm glad I didn't call. I'm going to do the follow-up question.
It's $15 for every right answer. Remember as well, if you don't know an answer, you can always say pass and come back to it as time remains. But if you answer a question incorrectly, you also can't come back to change it. So if you're not sure, use that option and just say pass. The clock will start as soon as you say that you're ready. So, Natasha, are you ready?
Ready.
Federal government is going to place a cap on international students coming here. How long will that cap be in
2
place
years.
for? Donald Trump can lock up the Republican primary today if he wins the vote in what U.S. state?
Oh,
Hampshire.
Yeah, true or false? New statistics show the number of homicides increased in Montreal last year.
True.
Nope. Quebec is asking the federal government to slow the influx of asylum seekers coming here. How many arrived here last year?
Oh, pass.
What online home goods retailer announced now it is laying off 1,650 workers?
Amazon.
No. Which Canadian bank will pay out a multi-million-dollar settlement on NSF fees it improperly charged customers?
TD! TD!
Houthi rebels have attacked ships in the Red Sea. In what country are those rebels based?
Yemen!
The Academy Award nominations were announced today. What film has the most nominations?
I don't fucking know.
Renowned Canadian filmmaker Norman Jewison has died. How old was he?
97.
Yes. The federal government is placing a cap on international students coming to Canada. How long is that cap in place?
2 years!
A year.
How much?
2!
1 year.
How much?
2! He's giving it to you, you dummy!
Did you say 2 or 1?
1 year.
1 year.
I hate you!
Again, she said
I'm
1
pretty
year.
sure I heard 2.
Let me check again. Natasha,
You
what did
guys
say?
suck!
2. Okay, I misheard them, I guess. Thank you.
Wow, you guys fucking suck the bag,
Answers,
man.
Natasha, that'll be $60 for you. So congratulations. Thanks for listening. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Say thank you to Natasha. She helped you.
Natasha's.
Oh yeah,
We're the
Natasha's working
Natasha.
together. Yeah, sorry. All right, we have Tom Mulcair coming up around the corner. Don't forget, in the next half hour as well, we will give you a chance to win tickets again to go see Brooks and Dunn. They're coming to town, and you can win tickets.
June
about
21st at the Bell Center. This is a Beat the Box office. You cannot buy these tickets until Friday, 10 a.m. at evenco.ca.
Also, if you missed it from yesterday, we spoke to a woman who unfortunately got scammed trying to buy a used car online. It's a cautionary tale for anybody else thinking about doing that because the deal looks really good. You'll hear that. We'll play that back for you at about 5:20 this afternoon. Stay with us for that. News is coming up next. Tom Mulcair on the other side.
Montreal Now, brought to you by Dormez-vous. The New Year, New You event is on now with amazing prices on all your sleep essentials. Sleep well, stay well. Dormez-vous.
You're listening to the Voice of Montreal. News, talk radio, CJAD 800, an iHeart radio station.
Good afternoon. It's 5 o'clock. I'm Jason Mayoff for the CTV News Update. A chance of flurries tonight. It's -6 downtown, but it feels like -13. Weather details in minutes. Here's what's making news right now. The government will appeal a judge's ruling on the Emergencies Act, a lawsuit against seniors' residences with significant COVID outbreaks, and a senior hit by a snowplow in Dollard.
Jesus.
For the latest from the CJAD 800 Traffic Center, here's Lauren Glazer.
We are slowing on the westbound side of the 20 on Green through to Ville St. Pierre. Also delays after Morgan now running through to Doriel. Eastbound side of the 20 also pretty slow. 43rd at the First Avenue. Outbound side of the Mercier Bridge back into Ville St. Pierre. Northbound to Cary, you're losing time now. Cutting the roads at the top. Also delays southbound to Cary. Starts at the top of the St. Catherine. Southbound 15, that's a busy drive between the La Vérendrye and the Champlain. Also a lot of off and on slowdowns now on the westbound side of the net. Starting Lac-Bourdier out to the Cary interchange. For the westbound side of the T-Can, it's pretty busy after Morgan out to the Latour. Shop Marché Adonis for fresh fruits at low prices until January 24th. Green, red, or black grapes at only $2.88 per pound. Traffic and transit every 15 minutes on CJAD 800. Your next report at 5:15.
In the news, a judge has ruled that the federal government's use of the Emergencies Act to deal with the so-called Freedom Convoy protests 2 years ago was not justified. Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland says the government will appeal and does not agree with the ruling.
The public safety of Canadians was under threat. Our national security, which includes our national economic security, was under threat.
Truckers and others laid siege to downtown Ottawa and blocked several border crossings for weeks in 2022 before the government used the Emergencies Act to shut the protests down. The protests were over government-imposed COVID measures. A lawsuit against CHSLDs that were hit with significant COVID outbreaks during the pandemic has been given the green light. Lawyer Patrick Martin-Hénard says they're asking for different amounts of compensation for different people.
$40,000 for all the residents that were in the CHSLDs, and an additional $60,000 for the residents that were infected, an additional $100,000 for the residents who passed away that would go to their succession. And then we have claims for indirect victims as well, $100,000 for the surviving spouse, $50,000 for the surviving children, $10,000 for the surviving
That's insane.
The suit covers only public
I doubt that'll
CHSLDs,
happen.
where at least a quarter of the residents got COVID. It does not cover private residences like the Heron in Dorval, where 47 residents died during the first wave of the pandemic, most of them in less than 1 month. Patrick Martin-Hénard will speak to Aaron and Natasha after the 5:30 news. A woman is in hospital with serious injuries after she was hit by a snow removal truck in Dollard.
The collision happened this morning in a residential parking lot with a 75-year-old woman suffering major lower body injuries. Police spokesperson Jean Drouin says police are investigating the incident and are meeting with the driver of the truck that hit her.
It's around 10:45 a.m. that a 911 call was made regarding a collision between a pedestrian and a snow removal truck on Arthur Street.
The woman was conscious when she was taken to hospital, and a perimeter was set up around the scene of the crash on Arthur Street near Ilto Street. I'm Don Kagan-Fleming.
Anonymous activists have put nails and steel bars in trees on the side of the future Northvolt electric car battery plant. CTV's Olivia O'Malley says the group sent out a press release saying they sabotaged several hundred trees to prevent them from being cut down.
The press release says that studded trees were marked with spray paint, and posters explaining the move were pinned around the wooded area to ensure the safety of people involved in, quote, destroying the forest. In a statement emailed to CTV News, Northvolt says, we deplore the use of this type of tactic, which entails major safety risks for workers and neighboring communities alike, while making it impossible to valorize these trees.
Northvolt, a Swedish company, is planning to build a $7 billion battery plant in McMasterville and Saint-Vincent-de-Gras, and will need to cut down about 8,000 trees. Turkish legislators have endorsed Sweden's membership in NATO. That was a major hurdle on the previously non-aligned country's entry into the military alliance. U.S. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says Sweden would be a good addition to NATO.
It's time for Sweden to become a NATO ally. They have a modern advanced military, one that we're very comfortable with, and they'll add real significant military capabilities to the alliance.
Hungary now becomes the only NATO ally not to have ratified Sweden's accession. For more news, go to CJAD800.com or download the iHeartRadio app. Your Northern Weather Center forecast: increasing cloudiness with a chance of flurries overnight, below -10, wind chill -18. Cloudy with a chance of flurries tomorrow, the high -2, the wind chill -16 in the morning, -7 in the afternoon, and Thursday, cloudy in the high, +1. It's -6 downtown, but it feels like -13. For all the news during the day, stream us on your smart speaker. Just say play CJAD. Your next CTV News update.
This newscast brought to you by the EMSB, celebrating Quebec Francophone culture this month. Kindergarten registration starts February 5th. For more, go to EMSB.ca.
Here's Joey Lies to talk about
Visibility. One coming in.
Wow, I'm impressed.
Because when you're a pedestrian, it's vital that drivers see you coming.
Oh, okay. This is a serious ad.
It sure is. We need to watch out for pedestrians, but pedestrians also need to be visible, and a lot of things can help with that, like crossing the road at the right place and not walking between cars.
When it comes to road safety.
Whoa! We all need to drive change. That's not coming again. Am I alert or what?
Okay, whoa, Jack. Hey. Take a sec. Breathe.
Sorry, Natasha didn't mean
Relax.
I turned on my microphone, kind of caught her off guard.
Okay.
Tom Harris is standing by. Our feature is brought to you by Guaranteed Industries. They're the folks who've been around for a long, long time. In fact, more than 60 years. They'll keep you nice and warm all the way through the winter. They're a Lennox Premier dealer as well. Give them a call, 514-342.
Seriously. We have code. We catch each other's eyes.
I thought you were done.
I was not done. I was
Apparently
yelling at him.
That's okay. Did you embarrass him or anything?
Well, I was kind of making a dirty joke. I'm glad it didn't go on.
Oh, wow.
Tom Montero standing by. You can guarantee a call, by the way, at 342-3400 or online at guaranteedindustries.com. Now, Tom, I understand as well, there may be someone breaking into our conversation as well. You're on your way to be with Vashi at the Queenie. Is that the idea?
Exactly.
Okay.
So I guess,
Oh, there's a protest there right now.
So I always talk to you guys, and then I go over to the CBD studios and I do Power Play with Ashley Capellas. But she said, well, come over and join us at the Queenie and we'll do it from there. So I'm on my way, and they swore to me that I would have the taxi, but of course it's not here yet. So you might hear me tell the taxi driver where we're going. But I'm glad to be with you. Since you've been chatting to each other about other stuff too. So.
Never you mind now,
You
Tom.
feel free to do anything at any time, Tom. Tom, let me start by asking you, this is the story, I guess, so far, the big story this afternoon. The federal court ruling that the Liberal government's invocation of the Emergencies Act was, quote, unreasonable and unconstitutional. What's your take on that?
Huge decision. I'm very surprised by it, to be honest with you. I thought that once you established that a group was refusing to leave until they had changed the government, it was a pretty good start in showing that you needed the Emergencies Act. But there you go. It's a very thoughtful decision. I haven't had time to go through it with a fine-tooth comb yet, but I've read large parts of it. It's well reasoned. But now we've got two well-reasoned decisions saying the exact opposite. So that's why you have the unusual situation of senior ministers saying today, straight to appeal. Usually they say, oh, well, we'll look at it with the lawyers and blah, blah, blah. They were clearly caught off guard by this thing. Chrystia Freeland was left catching, the flack on this one and giving the answers. I don't know where Trudeau was, but it's quite obvious the government was really not expecting this decision, nor was I. It's a huge decision, and it's a massive decision that Pierre Poilievre has already started taking advantage of. Because all we have to do is go through it and say, okay, so you remove people's rights, you weren't allowed to, his whole spiel of freedom, guess what? He gets to crow about this decision because it goes right in the direction that he's been talking about.
Tom, when you look at that situation, what could have been done differently? Could anything have circumvented that situation?
Well, there are outside factors that had nothing to do with the convoy or anything else. But the extraordinary, I'm trying to say it charitably, the extraordinary difficulty that the person who had been chosen to be the chief of police of Ottawa encountered. He simply wasn't up to the task. Let's just put it that way. He had to resign right at the middle of this thing. We often don't mention it, but the Soviet Quebec was brought in to solve this thing. There was a very large representation of the rights of the Soviet Quebec. This thing was not going to go away. They found thousands of rounds of ammunition at the border in Coupes, Alberta. They knew that there were threats. And I'll give you an example. At one point in his decision, he said, well, you have to prove that there was a threat to life or property. He says, yes, you've proven that it could have been a serious problem for the economy of the whole country, but that's not property. I thought it was. Sort of like our collective property, the property of all of us. But apparently the judge didn't exactly see it that way. So that's the type of thing that we've been dealing with.
So let me ask that, as far as ramifications are concerned, so you're right, Chrystia Freeland announced right away the government will appeal. How does this play out when we get to the end of all this?
Well, I think that we're going to have to get a direct reference to the Supreme Court. Hold on, where are we going?
Sure.
On s'en va la porte en avant du René Elisabeth, s'il vous plaît. Okay, wait. What? So I think that the fastest thing for Trudeau to do is simply to do what we call a reference case. And he's going to have to look. This part has to look at with lawyers. But I think that that's the safest truth. Get this thing clarified right away. Because, okay, we're talking about the immediate political fallout here. Trudeau's got egg on his face. Poilievre is crowing that he was right. But think about the next time something happens in Canada, whichever government it's going to be. You have to clarify these doggone rules. And obviously, if you've got two completely diametrically opposite decisions, well, nobody knows what they're supposed to stand on.
Okay.
What's your deal?
Were you surprised at the immediate decision that the government would appeal, or is that just a given?
I think that they did it intentionally.
You guys are boring me now. Okay. Trip over, you stupid. Why do I think you're gonna answer? Before it is, there's nothing. When you reach the customer, like, why would I fucking have to tell him that? Like, it's a weird thing to put for like the default. Oh wow. Loud. Hey dog. You gonna choke to death? Gross Jack. Okay, so we wait for Don to call that.
Start to learn that about Pierre Poilievre. He's got a quick mind. He's got he's very convinced. He's got a high opinion of his own opinion. But I think that it's going to start to wear because fundamentally, the Canadian value, maybe a universal value, but Canadian value is showing a lot of respect for other people, and It's one thing to say, okay, I really think that the government blew it in this file. They were incompetent in getting passport tests. They were incompetent in their answer on Israel Gaza. You can say that an action was, but here he goes after Valerie Plante. He goes after Bruno Marchand. He personalizes it. And there's something lost in the field of politics when everything becomes a personal insult the way that it happened.
But as you say this, I can't help but thinking some people listen to that and go, you know what, that's how politics used to be, but you better get used to this because this is how they're going to be.
Well, I think, and you're completely right, and I think we put that together with the fact that Poitier is such a wizard with social media because he is definitely
Bitcoin bro.
the youngest, but he's also the most gifted. I mean, everybody talked about Jordan thing when he came in, and he was quite good. A notch above everybody else.
Okay,
So
but like, don't make yourself sick over
They never
it.
had the creativity or the ability to really dig in the way Poitier does. But what do we know about social media? It's a cesspool. It's where people just say the worst things about each other and about everything that's going on. And I think that his wizardry in handling social media should be put to good advantage, as it might be, but he tends to have retained the principal lesson for me that he's retained from the world of social media. And again, I think that's going to start to wear thin on the other.
Okay. Last thing I want to bring up is this seems to be now a developing story. I thought this might have ended a day or two ago. The Northfold dilemma, if you want to call it that, for the Quebec government, and the feds have already weighed in on this. And now you're having people who live out there, there's protests starting, they have to stop cutting trees, Northfold. I'm wondering how long it's going to take Northfold to say, you know what, we don't want to have to put up with this anymore.
Well, I think that that's probably the objective. But there are two different things at play. One is the sabotage of the trees. That's something called spiking. That was, as far as I know, from my memory, was invented in Clay Pot Sound in British Columbia to try to save one of the rainforests. But it actually means severe danger for any forestry worker that are cutting those trees. And it would render those trees useless. You can't bring them to a spike them. So they can't even be used if and when they are cut down. So that is an incredibly serious mistake. Whoever did that, we don't know who did it. So we'll say that. But whoever did it was not thinking. The other thing is a very serious group called the Santé de Quebec Environmental. So the Quebec Environmental Law group, the most important one, the center, they've got a tremendous batting average. When they do take the odd case, they usually win. They're that good. They've basically got a team of some of the best environmental lawyers in Quebec. And they've looked at this thing as I have, and they think, look, this is regulatory capture. This is where the company is supposed to be regulated. And basically turn the table and said, oh, by the way, change the rules so that there are no hearings by the Quebec to deal with those. They're not in a month. We don't want hearings.
Hold up.
So change it. Make it 50,000 instead of 50,000 tons, because 50,000 is the cutoff point, and that way we won't have hearings. Well, I'm sorry. Those hearings exist to find out what the problems are, what the advantages are, what a fair balanced approach to the project is, and give people information so we can know if it's socially and environmentally acceptable. And Chair Fitzgibbon was on the air with us last night in studio with him, Mr. Fitzgibbon, in Montreal on
Hey,
the French
don't
side.
suffocate yourself.
We came up with this.
Fucking creep.
Well, if the public decides that they want to.
Yeah, none of that creepy shit in this house. Fucking corner, fucking creep.
If you have been serious about, living in a society based on the rule of law, where the law applies to everybody, and people don't get to change the laws to their own advantage, we might have already had the end of the public hearing process. We would have had a fair evaluation of what it represents, and then people could come to a proper decision. But instead, they tried to cut the corners, and they tried to give them a break, and they don't want to look at it. And that's why people are suspicious, and that's why this environmental law group is pushing very hard to get this thing analyzed properly.
And we will leave it at that. Tom, enjoy your cab ride. Say hi to Badgie for
We
us.
met her yesterday.
Montreal. Take care, guys.
Take care. Tom will care. Back tomorrow morning, 7:40 with Andrew Carter. And then
I like that. Tom will care. Take
Thursday
care.
afternoon. Let's get the traffic. 5:18. It is a Tuesday afternoon. Lauren Blake has got a check from your CJD 800 Traffic Center. Lauren?
Aaron, it's Asher looking north on 13. It is pretty slow now from before Covelias, runs up down Barassa. You're also losing 34 and 640. Also delaying southbound 13, Hickmore to the 20 for northbound to Cary. It's pretty busy. Queen Mary up to the top. Delays now southbound to Cary, starting at the top, rolls out to Van Horn. Lots of off and on volume for the westbound side of the Met, starting like Cordero to the carrying interchange for the westbound side of the T-Can. It's busy for 4 hours getting them by the sounds of the Torque Bridge.
Like fucking, I like that a lot of them have this same weird A problem that I have.
Thinking
Where
about
you
getting
pronounce A's like you're American?
nurses can now administer Rexy at your next
Absolutely
visit.
no reason.
Ask your healthcare provider about Rexy. Let us know what you see on the road. Calling your tips to start.
I see a lot of stupidity. I see a lot of bad
All
driving.
right, we're
That's what I
coming up
see.
to giveaway time, contest time here on the show. So if you're a country music fan, the good news is Brooks and Dunn. Did I hear it? Best-selling duo of all time.
Super not a country music
True.
fan.
Oh my goodness.
Out of town.
They are June 21st at the Bell Center. You cannot buy these tickets yet. They go on sale this coming Friday, 10 a.m. at Venco.ca. It's a beat the box office right now for your chance to win a pair.
All you have to do, because they are a duo, is identify the duo that you're about to hear and tell me who they are. So again, I think you can classify these people as country. You're going to hear part of the song, lyric line from the song. You tell me the name of the duo here. 790-0800. First right answer's got the tickets to go see Brooks and Dunn. Here you go. Good luck.
You've been looking for love all around the world. Baby, don't you know this country?
It's all right. One more time.
You've been looking for love all around the world. Baby, don't you know this country?
Who are they? What is that duo? Who is that duo? 790-0800. First right answer gets the Brooks and Dunn tickets. Good luck.
Montreal Now, brought to you by Dormez-vous, the New Year, New You event.
Okay. Oh, cooperation. Oh, that was not good. No. Yay! Stupid. No, it was just me, asshole. Jack, it was just me. Look, there's nobody there. Nobody. It was just me. Go back to what you were doing. Good job. Onward. How the fuck am I supposed to not lose that? Okay. No.
You will not lie to your steel and tolerate those who do. In terms of how you think about problem sets, when I was a cadet, what's the cadet motto was one? You will not lie to your steel and tolerate those who do. I was a standard to read why I didn't see what's going on. Yes, better training course.
We had a good discussion on ensuring global energy security and adequate oil supplies to support global economic growth. And that will begin shortly. And I'm doing all I can to increase the supply to the United States of America that I expect to happen. The Saudis share that urgency. Based on our discussions today, I expect to see further steps in the coming years.
One of the most every war is conflict. That means basically probably like food.
What is that? To come back and kick me with some? George, if I was still in Parliament.
There can be no doubt that Saddam Hussein has biological weapons and the capability to rapidly produce more, many more. And he has the ability to dispense these lethal poisons and diseases in ways that can cause massive death and destruction. Biological weapons seem too terrible to contemplate. Chemical weapons are equally chilling. Unmoved already laid out much of this, and it is documented for all of us to read in UNSCOM's 1999 report on the subject. If we consider just one category of missing weaponry, 6,500 bombs in Iran, Iraq, Unmoved says the amount of chemical agent in them would be on the order of 1,000 tons. These quantities of chemical weapons are now unaccounted for. Dr. Blick says, quick, that mustard gas is what you did with it. We believe
You're supposed to know what you
knows
did with the mustard gas.
It does not complain the international community. We have evidence these weapons existed. What we don't have is evidence from Iraq that they have been destroyed or where they are. That is what we're still waiting for.
Okay, the inspection we're doing, everybody's agreed
This is what I
we're
wanted.
doing, and it gets stopped. At that moment, we're an automatic pilot as far as you're concerned. Period. No ifs, ands, and buts. Now, I respect that. But now, it seems to me the Secretary of State might have a slightly different problem. Secretary of State might be sitting there and saying, I look over there on that side. Now, I remember so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and the 12 people on this side, they're all the ones that said they didn't want to use force. Now, I'm going to have to go tell the president now that we should, or Secretary Cohen, unleash whatever it takes to get it done. And our military assessment is the same as the major's. The major's assessment is, privately held or publicly acknowledged later, that airstrike.
Get in the hole. Oh. Looking interesting. Fuck yeah. Yay!
No more to consider than you do as the arms inspector. You didn't get in, didn't get my job done, get me in. Period. You made the deal, right? That's the deal. A deal's a deal. Get me in. Scott Ritter, I'm ready to go.
You're so
Not how it
fucking
works.
pretentious.
Now,
Like,
maybe it should work that way. But wouldn't you acknowledge, if you were President of the United States or Secretary of State, you'd sit there and say, now, okay, old Scotty Boy didn't get in. We said he should get in. We want him to get in. It's important that he does get in. They're not going to let him in. So what are we going to do now? We know that France and Russia aren't going to be with us. We're quite confident China's not. We've already run those traps. They're not there. We're not sure where the United States Senate is, but have at it, boys. Go get them. And by the way, Scott and the boys say air power's not enough. I think it's a legitimate debate, Scott, Major. I think it's a legitimate debate. But I don't think we should be putting it in the context of, you have somebody up there at state saying, look, how can we weasel out of this agreement? We want to let this guy out there hanging. We're not this one. It's a very practical decision. Same kind of decision General Powell made. Same kind of decision President Bush made. Every president, every Secretary of State has to do it. Like I said, they get paid more than you. Their job's a hell of a lot more complicated than yours. They may have made the wrong decision, and you brought it to light. We should address it. We should stay straight up where we are, and we should do it. And for that, I thank you. But it's above your pay grade.
wow. Just like the fucking Trudeau thing. It's like, how could none of you see that coming? Like, how did no one remember that happened? Ow. No, what are you barking at? It's just people outside. Jack, stop. It's just the neighbors.
We're going to war with Iraq. Why? He said, I don't know.
I don't know.
He said, I guess they don't know what else to do. He said, I guess it's like we don't know what to do about terrorists, but we've got a good military and we can take down governments. And he said, I
Terrible,
guess
Carl.
the only tool you have is a hammer.
What happened?
To look like a nail. So I came back to see him a few weeks later, and by that time we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, are we still going to war with Iraq? And he said, oh, it's worse than that. He said, I just got this down from upstairs from the Secretary of Defense office today. And he said, this is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran.
Hey everyone, Clayton here. The show is going to start at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I should
Okay, get the fuck off my screen then. You haven't started yet? Get off my screen.
Now, this show is totally free, what you're watching right now. Subscribe here on YouTube and Rumble. Totally free. But if you'd like to support independent journalism, we are run by you.
I do not
Without
support
you guys,
your
we wouldn't be able to do
narcissistic, fucking psychotic shit. Your fucking Bitcoin drama nonsense.
Mainstream media largely ignores, and we're going to cover a couple of big stories tonight.
You okay?
What is happening to the future of Ukraine? This has been the plan all along, to turn Ukraine into a United States colony. We're going to show you the pretty alarming evidence that that is exactly what Victoria Nuland and President Biden have been planning for a number of years in Ukraine. We'll look at that, plus a lot of other stories in Ukraine today as well.
Plus, Democrats are now losing their mind because they're realizing that the Democratic Party doesn't stand for them. They are the most disenfranchised in society. Specifically, Black neighborhoods are suing their local government to stop all of the benefits for migrants in their neighborhood. This is an amazing story. We're going to bring you specific stories about how Black voters are so disenfranchised by this non-addressed immigration.
We're also going to look at Germany. What the heck is happening to Germany collapsing under the weight of its energy crisis? And we're also going to talk about coffee because the World Economic Forum, the WHO, actually the WHO this afternoon, Tedros releasing a message about they really want your diet to change. We really want you to have a plant-based diet. That from the World Economic, the World Health.
Oh yeah, I know, I noticed. You guys fucking sneak that shit into my groceries all the time, and I'm just like, the fuck is this garbage? I literally explicitly do not buy vegan.
We're going to shoot all of that down.
I won't fucking eat
All
bugs
that,
and shit.
so much more as Redacted starts right now.
I'll eat McDonald's, but at least I know I'm putting fucking garbage in my body. Like, with Clayton and Natalie.
Everyone in the chat, eat the bugs.
See? What the fuck did I just say?
Yes, Klaus Schwab. Eat the bugs.
You eat the bugs.
You eat the
Welcome,
bug.
everyone. Hope you guys are doing well on this Tuesday. Hope you guys are a
Green
little
Alley.
warmer. What's the temperature? Let me know where you guys are joining us from around the world today. You guys still dealing with this crazy cold snap? Philip and David have been able to leave the house.
Fucking 4 degrees.
Ridiculous.
Oh yeah, it's fine now. It's the snow's almost completely melted. It's like 51 degrees here today. So,
Yeah, Pacific Northwest out there. Yeah, especially up in Canada as well. Good to see everyone tonight. Yeah, we've got a lot of news to get to, but we do have a daily newsletter that we would love to tell you about.
Sure, I'll do that. If you go to redacted.inc, you get the free Redacted newsletter. It is not behind a paywall. There is no level of newsletter that we upsell you. It's free, and it will remain free. We write it as a compendium to this show, so you can study up on the stories that we talk about, and you can trust that we get our sources from as original a sources as possible. You read it, you decide what you think, then come here and have a conversation with us here on Redacted, again, you go to redacted.inc, sign up for the newsletter, put in your email address, and then you get it every day that this show comes out, Monday through
Jack,
Thursday.
it's the neighbors. Stop it.
It's a gift to you. I very much think of you, our audience, when we're writing it, and we hope you enjoy it. So again, it's totally free at redacted.inc. Please sign up.
Yeah, and I love the emails I get from you because I send it.
You're
Yeah,
narcissistic.
Clayton at redacted.inc, that's my email address. So
That's
I
lovely.
get a lot of
Thank you.
responses from you when we send out the daily newsletter. I try to read as many of them.
You just literally publicly gave out your personal email.
Today, so it's not possible to do all of them, but many of you send great news stories, great
Oh,
news
you get a
tips,
bunch of dick
stories
pics.
to look into, books to recommend.
Oh,
One of our viewers last night during our live show recommended the Chris Bledsoe book that's being turned into a movie. An amazing story. I started reading it today.
It's like
Your
amazing.
recommendation, and it is absolutely eye-opening. So thank you for that Chris Bledsoe recommendation, the UFO God book. An amazing story. Really amazing story. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you have anything else to
No, I guess, and I also get a lot of emails
Fuck
back
you,
about
Clayton.
the content as well. The story we did yesterday about us being on this attack list by Mark Ruffalo, I have to say, normally I can shake things off, and for whatever reason, that one stuck. I felt kind of personally attacked by it because no one asked us. They didn't do proper research. They just made up lies about us, saying that we're funded by big oil. And I appreciate the support that you guys have sent out about that because, sometimes, like I'm sure you know in your life, sometimes you can let things roll off your back and then sometimes you get a sticker in your sock. And that one was one of them.
A sticker in your sock. That happened to me this afternoon. I was walking around like, what the hell do I keep sticking to the floor? What, and it's driving me nuts. And it's that little thing that keeps bothering you, and you finally,
Oh, I mean the the plant ones, like the little thorns.
Oh.
Don't you call those stickers? But probably was one of our daughter's
something. Yeah, just like something was stuck to my foot. And I looked down, it was a sticker. It was like one of the things, like a real sticker. And I kept sticking to the floor. So yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I guess it's to underline that.
Story is
point, we
so
are
stupid,
human
Clayton.
beings. And so when literally Mark Ruffalo and his band of eco-alarmists put us on a list of that they say we're funded by big oil, and they put like 100 other people. They're like, all funded by big oil. No, that's not true at all. Never once have been funded by big oil. Like, where the hell are you getting this from? We're human beings. It can rub you the wrong way. Kind of stuff. Anyway, all right. Well, this story we're going to talk about now. If this doesn't affect you in some kind of deep way, then maybe you're not.
Unless you are the wrong kind.
I think this is really an
Suck
effective
at
story.
drugs.
So let's get into it. Well, the future of Ukraine has already been decided by the United States of America, according to a bombshell new report, which we will get to that part of the story here in a minute. But first, Ukraine has a dead soldier problem. Not the kind of problem you're thinking, though. You're probably thinking, well, look at all these graves that you're seeing here on your screen, right? Ukraine has too many dead soldiers. They can't keep up with the number of dead soldiers and build graves. That's the problem, you think, right? And therefore, we should negotiate a surrender so more people don't die. An unconditional surrender. Give up the territory of the people that you've been bombing in formerly eastern Ukraine, like Donetsk and other areas, for the last 10 years. Give that area up. It's gone. They don't want to be. They don't want to be part of Ukraine anyway. They vote overwhelmingly to be part of Russia.
Really?
So that's not exactly what we're talking about here, though. No, instead, Zelensky won't surrender. So Ukraine's soldier problem has now metastasized beyond just those graves that you're seeing there into a cancer of what to do with all of these dead bodies, all of these dead soldiers. Sources in Ukrainian military leaked video saying they're just burying these poor souls in mass graves, covering them up with bulldozers in the frigid temperatures, and then telling the parents total lies, telling the spouses total lies, that they're missing. They're just missing. We don't know where they are. They might be captured by Russia. We don't know. This video leaked from Ukrainian military members who are trying to get the message out about what is actually happening. I guess, clearly they're fearing for when this ends up being them in a few weeks or in a few months. So, of course, here you can see what you see on your screen.
No.
You're listening to the audio version of this if you're driving or something. They're building, of course, mass graves. and being directed by their leaders there in Ukraine. And then there's a bulldozer just waiting. And God knows where these are, right? I mean, once these things are covered up, good luck finding them. And when they do find them a year and a half, maybe 10 years, 15 years from now, you know what the mainstream media will say about these graves? Does anyone want to wager a guess about what they'll say about these graves?
Russia did it.
Russia.
Yeah.
Russia did it,
It was
right?
genocide.
Or if they're following the New York Times pattern, it's just wait 6 months and then say that they did that and say, we think that this happened.
Yeah. And you can see the bulldozers here as well. I mean, this is what's happening regularly now. And it's remarkable. And here it is, directing you. Yep, now it's your turn. You get over here, shovel that earth and where? Shovel all that earth over there. On top, hide nor hair of these individuals. Rush it. No burial, and we don't know where these people are then, of course. And then neither do the parents and neither do the spouses. Hiding these dead soldiers also serves as a purpose, of course.
Literally in Gaza, they are marking people down by things that they died with.
If they're missing,
and they just leave a little note with a bunch of bodies, trying to identify people.
Or the family a pension or death benefits. Doesn't have to pay these things out if they're missing in action. According to Ukrainian law, quote, adult children of servicemen living with their parents or other legal representatives are entitled to a pension in accordance with the law of Ukraine, called on pensions for persons discharged from military service and certain other persons. In the event of the death of a serviceman, person liable for military service or a reservist, this pension is intended as compensation for the loss of the breadwinner and family support in difficult circumstances. So now it's been 6 months and your son is missing, but we know what really happened. They dumped him in a grave, said he went missing. How long will he be missing? Forever. Good luck getting a death certificate in order to receive his pension or the death benefit payout that you receive as a military spouse.
Right.
If you're married, you get a one-time death payment, according to France 24 News. Military widows in Ukraine are entitled to a one-time financial payment from the state. They may be eligible for other financial payments, such as monthly sums from local authorities, depending on the region in which they live. But again, only if he's dead. If he's missing, sorry, you're out of luck. No payment for you. Turns out, according to Ukraine's official registry, there are over 24,000 missing souls.
See, now it's sad. Before it was just fucked up and not logical or sensible in any way. It's just nonsense. But this is actually sad.
Just imagine that 24,000 families who were not given the truth, who are in agony.
Yep.
Imagining the worst.
Well, you're speaking like a true spouse and a mother, because that's exactly what these women are doing. So Ukrainian moms and spouses aren't buying it either. And they're calling for special investigations into the truth about these missing soldiers. Give me my bones. I want to do DNA analysis. I want a full investigation. I don't buy what you're telling me. I don't believe it.
Because it's ridiculous.
That's just one example. I mean, there are thousands of examples. But it's thousands. And according to the Ukraine government's own bureau on this, since September, they've had over 17,000 appeals to try to get answers about missing soldiers. 17,000. The National Information Bureau in Ukraine. 17,000 appeals. Someone's not buying these stories they're being fed. According to the Ukraine's government's own bureau, they've had these 17,000 appeals, and here's the procedure once you get actually some information and you can actually, apply for these death benefits. You need to get all of this stuff. Listen, a combatant's certificate, a certificate of a person with a disability as a result of war, if available, and a death certificate if the combatant has died.
Don't you launch an appeal because you have none of that?
Yes, you don't have any of that, right? In addition, you're going to need a child birth certificate, an IDP registration certificate, and a certificate of
I've never stopped looking for you. If there's anything ever happened, you went missing, I've never stopped looking for you. I would fucking sell everything
For any young man
fucking I have
don't want
that
to
I
die.
would just spend the rest of my life trying to figure out
You
what the
can
fuck
buy
happened.
your way out. Officially,
Yeah.
not, we know about like all the
But,
black
like,
market stuff. So paying, the rich
That to me is like the worst. The
now it's going to be now
the worst
law.
is not knowing.
A new bill has been making its way through Ukraine's parliament. And you can see it here.
What?
Translated
Tinfoil?
Here's the
It's
bill.
a burger.
This is in
It's very burnt.
parliamentary website. You can go read the bill for yourself.
Very burnt though.
It stands right now.
Probably not.
Member of Parliament put this up.
I can make
The new
more
law in
burgers,
Ukraine will
but
let
actually
you pay
make
the
burgers.
military to leave the country.
Those were just like kind of like the leftover meat
Here are the
part.
ways that men
And I was like,
now, according to this bill, ways under this law. A decision of public authority in an official business trip abroad, okay? So like you're part of an official business trip abroad. Documents certifying the fact that you're studying or enrolled in a foreign educational institution abroad. Okay.
Good thing it wasn't last
You
day.
study there in Cambridge or something. Another way that you can get out is written approval for traveling abroad from the territory.
Goodbye forever.
And social support. So, I gotta think there's a lot of driving.
I did the same thing before. What the fuck, eh?
Traveling abroad from the territory.
Something at the top of the stairs. I think is making us.
But here's the.
I'm
rule.
serious because I did the exact same thing when I went up before. And I was like, why the fuck did that happen? Like,
Documents confirming the
but it's also like my
existence of
slippers are very
one of the
loose.
state-owned banks of Ukraine. With a guaranteed deposit of at least 5 subsistence minimums for an able-bodied
Yeah, but maybe
person.
something at the top of the stairs is too
Meaning
close.
that you have to make a payment into this account equal to the minimum amount of taxes on the minimum wage for the entire period of stay abroad during martial law of Ukraine.
What?
And then you have to have transfer funds from such an account to a special account of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. You pay the Armed Forces of Ukraine.
And then you have to, it says here, replenish it every month while abroad.
Yeah, you have to keep sending them money. Like you're a parent sending money to your kid at college.
That's a Ponzi scheme to not die.
Right.
I can't believe it.
Well, I mean, if you go to, I know, and if they go to Europe, what happens then? They pay the money, they go to Europe, Europe sends them back to Ukraine. Do they have to start the process over? Or do they like to have a second account to leave again, or what?
Yeah,
It's like a,
they set up another bank account, and then you're literally transferring money into the Armed Forces of Ukraine.
I mean, think of the kind of person who knows that there are stories now of men who are dentists leaving for work, getting grabbed on their way to their office.
The dog wants to come
You know,
upstairs.
you're thinking, okay, maybe they'll come for me. What are my options? And you look at this and you're like, well, I can't do any of this.